fortune that you see is the fortune that you need. So tell me why the first ask is the last to give every time. What you say and do not mean follows you close behind. She had diamonds on the inside.
Ladies and gentlemen, live from the broken down, low-rent, sleazy, double greasy pirate radio Nut Hut Studios, it's time for the very first ever Southern...
It's Friday night. My name's Jimmy.
You are receiving a pirate radio transmission.
You're receiving this transmission.
On the air for testing purposes only. Do you receive?
Do you receive? I do.
You receive?
I see the epic journeyman has raised his head in the chat room.
Oh, I do not.
There's a time for living and a time for love. There's a time for forgiving, y'all, and a time to shine.
100100 SOS. It has escaped. Uh-oh.
Honey,
Hey, Mambo Italiano. Oh, is that?
Good love is gone bad, baby.
Apparently not.
I've been playing.
I don't know what happened. Something's happening. It's like something's always happening around here. Alright, there goes Melvin Taylor. I don't know. Rock and Rio was there. Now he's not. Now see?
Girl, I've been playing. Fool.
You get this annoying sound. Ay, ay, ay. It's always something around here, man.
Sweetheart, you've been playing dirty pool.
Oh boy.
I'm just saying, man. Literally, this week has just been insanity, man. All
I
week.
think this whole year has been insanity at some level.
The golden toad is turning into the golden turd, man. I don't know. Everything's falling apart. His whole support system is basically abandoning him. He's going after people. He went after Alex Jones and Tucker Carlson.
Oh, did he now?
Alex Jones literally went off today. He said if Trump says
Goes off every day.
Trump says one more thing, he says, listen, man, I know right where to hit you. And if you say one more thing, say one more thing, and I'm going to go after you, man.
Alex Jones said that to Trump?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You should reverse that shit. It's on there, man. He threw down the gauntlet. He said, man, he said, look, I've been supportive of you, you know. I didn't, you know, you were better than the alternative, but, you know, I gotta say the truth or whatever. And, you know, he's been saying the 25th Amendment, and Alex has been. So Trump went after his ass. I should find the comments that he made. It kind of sounded like a long time ago when we did that debate with Trump's debating me, with the shit he was saying about me.
Yeah.
He probably said some shit like that. No, but he was pissed, man. I mean, you know, he's had to do a lot of backpedaling and stroking, man, to be able to keep going through trying to make what Trump's doing seem okay, you know, to people, you know, or whatever.
Well,
But
I seem to remember when there was a point in time where Alex Jones was really upset with Trump, and he was like crying on the air about how could he do this, and I think it was in the first term. Right, where he
Well,
turned
I saw Roger Stone immediately showed up today to do damage control.
Oh yeah.
That's not a good idea, man. That's a bad idea. That's not the person you want doing damage control.
No, I mean, he showed up on Alex's show. And because Alex...
Did the damage control for Trump or for Alex Jones?
For Trump.
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
Yeah,
They
and
shouldn't
so
do that.
the thing is like, you know, he was sitting there saying how influential Alex's audience was during the whole first campaign, so on and so forth. Like he was trying to it seemed like he was trying to smooth it over. But then after it was all said and done, man, Alex just, he had to say something. Because he's been sued and all this stuff, and there's just all this shit has gone on. And he still stood by Trump the whole time. He's still saying, he still was staying on his side for the most part. And now it's gotten to a point where he can't stay on his side anymore, man. It's just, can't do it, and still be reputable, still have a reputation.
Yeah, you're not reputable for for him, right? I mean, that's pretty bad, because you got to figure Tucker Carlson said 25th Amendment also, and so did I don't think Candace Owens said 25th Amendment. She implied it though, and then all those. I mean, they've had it, and it's right. I mean, that stuff that went down on Tuesday was beyond unhinged, man. Beyond.
Yeah.
I mean,
What happened on Tuesday that was beyond unhinged that I missed?
they threatened to end civilization, the entire civilization, never to be respawned. This exact thing on the Earth, never to return to Earth or something like that. I mean, basically implying nuking them. I mean, in so many words, right? He didn't say nuke. He said end their civilization.
He basically,
I mean,
he basically was calling for genocide, man.
Calling for genocide, absolutely. And so what ended it, a lot of people, the stories are kind of leaking out. It did kind of last time, but more so now, that what was happening was that when they did all these human shields and they got 17 million people signed up to go do it, those bridges and power plants and things like that, that they were going to go bomb. Well, I don't think they ever go bomb. The military wouldn't have done it, I don't think. But and they showed the pictures to them in CENTCOM and the so they can't do that. That's illegal. And they basically refused his target list because it's not lawful. You can't go kill civilians like that. On a bridge somewhere. Come on, or a power plant. And so he basically folded. So that's what happened. And there's no peace plan. There's never. I don't think anyway. I'm pretty sure most people are pretty much on that same page now. He just put out a tweet, a true social post, and made it up as he went and called it good. And now he's just trying to scramble to get something out of it. But right now, we got nothing out of it. We're worse off than we were when we started. They have a toll booth set up, basically for the Strait of Hormuz.
Yeah,
they still have their uranium. They have the regime still in power. What do we get out of this? This isn't working out right now. It's bad, man. It's bad. So hopefully they negotiate something, but they've already been emboldened so much that because they lifted the sanctions under oil and Russian oil as well, that today, ahead of the Islamabad peace talks with J.D. Vance starting tomorrow, Iran said they're not even going to start negotiating tomorrow unless they get their assets unfrozen. I mean, talk about some bravado, man. I mean, they're just leveraging their, what they have to play with because Trump said they had no cards today. But, come on now. And the Strait's still closed. 2 ships went through today. 2. 4 in the last 2 days or whatever, right? So maybe 6 total since the supposed opening of the Strait of Hormuz at $2 million a pop, unless you happen to be Iranian or in league with an ally of Iran.
$2 million in Bitcoin.
Yeah, in cryptocurrency. And a lot of people are looking at that saying it's like some shenanigans going on to basically enrich the family as well as the Iranians, right?
There's a shitload of
take their cut.
There's a shitload of insider trading going on now.
Big time.
I mean, it's
big
just
time.
Unbelievable how much money people are making. And people around the organization or the administration, as I like to call it.
Yeah. They get the call, hey man, put so much down on these markets right now.
It's the Trump organization.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now there's all kinds of shit going on. So Rio's going to reverse Melania.
I thought he would. I thought he would when I heard it.
But he's probably not going to do it. Are you going to do it tonight?
Well, maybe.
Why not? Well, he could do it reverse or organic Sharpton style. But
yeah,
you'd have to Epic. You have to get him the link to the Melania talk because I don't have it here. So you'll have to pass the link over to Rio. Maybe he'll get an inkling to do that in the second hour. We got a lot to talk about tonight, man.
Oh, for sure.
Now there's some serious. Hang on a second, man. So there's some serious shit going on. Serious shit. Okay, now we've talked about it years ago on this show. We didn't have scientific evidence. We didn't have science, papers to verify it. We were making suppositions based on shit we saw, and now it's all coming to light, man. A lot of it, and so I got some. I'm gonna bring to the table in the next hour. But one of the things I wanted to bring to the table was. A couple years ago, we did a show about these earbuds, and we were making suppositions about the potentiality of people being mind controlled, mind read, and brain waved through these earphones. Well, now all of a sudden, there's a fucking whistleblower that just came out, and we were 100% right on that. Now I went around on Charlie Robinson's show. I did a show on there, and I went over to Kriston T. Harris's show, and I did a show there on the very topic that is now being whistle blew or whatever. So that's what I got going on now. Rock and Rio, what's on your radar? Is anything on your radar besides the Melania Trump shit? Because I know that just got sprung on you tonight. You know.
Yeah. I've had a very busy week, so I haven't really paid much attention to the goings on around the world.
And then you got to work tomorrow too. Now, right?
Yeah, I got to work tomorrow too.
I know your pain, man. I know your pain.
Yeah, well, it happens, but it's. I guess you could say it's for a good cause. It's for one of our better people.
Well, didn't they just came out with a new version of those fucking earphones, man? They translate for you right in the moment.
Yeah. I think the Apple ones are now doing.
That's what I'm talking about.
The live translation. You can do it on the phone too. The live translation. Yeah. Oh, amazing tech. In one respect, it's it's kind of a great thing, and in the other respect, it's pretty horrible.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. What we're going to be talking about in the second hour.
Having them things whispering in your ear all the time.
There's two things we're going to be talking about in the second hour, and one of them is, I'll kind of wet your whistle right now, is, Anthropic has Claude, and there's been this version of Claude called Mythos. Yeah, and well, it got out.
Yep.
It escaped.
So it's running amok on the internet now?
It's running amok. So we're going to be talking about that in the second hour. And then we're going to be talking about this other thing. This other thing is just,
Dr. Frey, yeah.
It's heavy, man.
Back when.
You take a look at this guy. His name's Dr. Jack Cruz. He's a neurologist. And he's talking about some of this radiation that's getting in. It's getting through, through the magnetic field. And so apparently everybody knows about it except for the general public.
Right.
Which is probably why you're seeing nothing but AI generated, people on these screens, because everybody's down in the bunkers already. So there's been the upswing. Have you noticed the upswing in the bunker building? Now there's a bunker being built right over by you, next to you on one of those islands.
Yeah, there is.
No,
yep, in the nigh. Yeah, big one, huge one. I've seen it.
So you've been over there. You take a look at it. You could see the
I didn't get to walk inside. I saw it from a boat. It's on the back side of the nigh. It's Larry Ellison's building over there. And to give you an idea how big it is, just from what I could see from the boat looking over, it's big enough that they have like those 60-foot articulating boom lifts, right? That one of those things can drive in it. It's like Cheyenne Mountain with it lifted. That's how big it is, like the entrance to it. You know what I'm saying? So like he's building something big there. Now it could just be a big data center. I don't know. They have an excuse, but nobody knows what it is. They can't explain that weird statue he's got up front. There's all this weird stuff going on over there. And it's just private island, basically, for all practical purposes. He owns 95% of it, so we can't just walk in there and go check it out. That's provided. It's totally a Blofeld kind of situation going on over there.
Cack.
James Bond, right?
Cack is back.
Hey,
Yeah, it's total James Bond, man. But the thing about it is, it's not just that. It's that, it's going on everywhere. Let's face facts, man. For some reason, for some unbeknownst reason to us, we don't know why, but all over the fucking planet, there's a bunch of shit that's been dug out and people were living underground. All right? It's everywhere. So it's for whatever reason, people started, digging holes and living underground, whatever reason. Everybody across the whole earth had that same reason, and they all did it. So there may be some major signs that are available for people to know when these incidents are happening. We've talked about this before. Ancient structures that, when a beam of sunlight goes through this hole, you got fucking 10 years left before the fucking whatever it is.
No, that's true. That's
mean?
Absolutely what it is. There's no doubt about it.
Well, I'm gonna ask you guys. I'll ask you, you two, Epic and Rio. I'm gonna ask you guys to go take a look at a picture of the moon right now, and then get another picture of the full moon and saying, I don't know, 2006. 20 years ago, and see if the moon looks the same. Because people are saying the moon is now not in the same place as it was, and that's one of the key signs is when you see the face of the moon looks different. You got that's like a ray of sunlight coming in, on a certain day, to let you know that something's up. So I don't know. I haven't looked at the moon.
That is, yeah. If you're not an astronomer or something, you don't have a passion for moon gazing. You're maybe not looking every day, but I mean, it's interesting that a story came out, but like 3 or 4 days ago, before all this war stuff really took the spotlight away, that there's going to be an asteroid hitting the moon that we're going to get to see from the Earth. We'll get to see like the explosion and the debris go up in debris field, all that kind of stuff, potentially from the Earth, from the right place. Because the Earth doesn't, the moon doesn't shift its side, right? It's always the same side facing, so we'll get to see it. So if you get a good view of the moon, you'll be able to see it with your supposedly with your naked eye potentially.
Was that
Well, the thing is, why would they say that? I mean, if it's true, that's one thing, of course. But what if they're doing something to the moon? And it's exactly what you're describing. That they know this is going to happen because that's one of the signs about what we're talking about.
Yeah. In other words, you've been seeing one side of the moon. The side that everybody sees
your whole life.
With the face. The smiley face, and now the smiley face isn't there anymore because the shit moved and it's different. So I don't know, man. That's what I'm asking you guys. Look at 2 pictures of the moon. Tell me what you think. Because
wouldn't it be interesting if this asteroid collision, the cosmic collision, let's not call it asteroid necessarily, this collision has enough momentum to actually move the Earth. I mean, not the Earth. I'm sorry, the moon, to where we do get a different picture, and they know that. Like they already know this is going to happen, for example, and that is the sign you're talking about.
It's already like
through.
that right now. Before the thing hits, right now it's not the same as what people are saying. Like I said, I'm not I don't have a telescope, so I can't go out in my backyard and take a look at the moon. But I'm telling you guys, take a look at those pictures and see if it's the same.
Well, I guess my question on that is it just a little different because it's, slowly rotating away or whatever, a little faster than it's
I'm just saying,
orbiting, or is it like completely different?
That's the thing about it is unless you're sitting there looking at the moon all the time, people just run around and living their lives, man. We never noticed the moon shifting, like rolling or the Earth is in a different position where we're looking at it from a different place, or we're seeing the dark side now because the dark side rolled around or whatever. I don't know what the cause of it. Like I say, go look at a picture of the last full moon, and then look at a picture of the moon from 2006. Full moon, see if it looks the same. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. All right.
C'est la vie, city old folks. Goes to show you never can tell.
Now, did you, Epic Journeyman, did you pass Rock and Rio that clip for Melania Trump?
No, not yet. I'm trying to figure out which one to send.
The
whole one.
What's funny about the moon too? Because there was a point in time where there was people going around on shows. This is a long time ago. Now that I think about it, it might have. I'm almost thinking it might have even been David Icke saying this shit. They were saying that the moon was hollow, and it was, the moon was, creating the Earth, the hologram that we see, and it's just, it doesn't belong there. It just showed up there one day.
Well,
there
thing
was
when
no
they
moon,
sent
and then
that
all of a sudden there
probe
was.
into it, right? It was supposedly, it rang like a bell when that thing hit it. So maybe it is hollow. Maybe
Yeah.
or resonant.
It's like that Bugs Bunny cartoon with that little dude with the brush on his head. He's inside
Marvin the Martian. Yeah.
he's inside the hollow moon, creating the Matrix hologram that we're living in. Everybody's now, agreed that, we are living in a simulation. So, who knows?
His P-38 disintegrator.
Yeah, man. All right, listen. It's out of control at this point, wouldn't you say? I mean, realistically, when you
I
start,
think
when you
it's been
start,
out of control for a while.
no, but I'm
man.
just saying, when you start
And
saying
I just think it just continues to spiral more and more.
you're going to eliminate civilizations that will never be rebuilt ever. Saying shit like that's pretty intense, man.
Well, it's not the first time we've heard this from a world leader.
That's the only time we've ever heard it from a world leader. No one's ever said that.
Nobody's ever said anything like that. Nope.
Ever.
I mean, maybe going back to the days of the Old Testament or something. Maybe, but not in modern times. Not
No.
any time in the last 1,000 years.
Well,
No. Well,
I do remember a certain German that Trump is constantly compared to wanting to wipe out a specific race of people.
I don't think he ever got up there and said, I'm going to sit there and wipe out a certain race of people.
He may not have announced it.
That's what I'm saying.
As a matter of fact statement, but
Well, this was a matter of fact statement. Straight up.
It was a straight up threat. Yeah, it gave the time clock and everything. Yeah. Some of the people had countdown timers over in Israel and stuff like that at shows. Yeah, no, it was beyond pretty intense. It was absurdly intense, and it was about an hour and a half before the deadline was about to go down. They started getting word that it might not happen. Then about an hour before, it announced that they had the deal, but it kind of struck apparently Iran by surprise because they didn't have a deal. Right. So you know what happened?
Well,
he just put it out there.
They posted this 10-point agreement thing.
Right. Is their opening bid, right? Yeah.
Which gave everybody, everybody saw what the 10 points were, and then they were saying it was agreed to already. Which obviously it hadn't been agreed to because they weren't giving up anything that they were up to for the most part. But, they're saying that this whole I want to get out of NATO thing is a ploy, and that really there's meetings going on, and NATO's going to go in there with Trump and, blah, blah, blah. And so apparently there's been some Polish warships have made their way down there so far. And so I don't know what's going on. We'll see. It's definitely not over.
No, I'm sure it's not, but and what the other thing I did hear Trump say was Cuba's next. Right, so maybe he'll button things up in Iran and go attack Cuba.
What he actually said was something about our next conquest. He said once we get this thing here taken care of, we're going to be ready for our next conquest. I didn't know we were on a conquest or a crusade.
He said so. Yeah, back in the inaugural speech. Remember, he said Monroe Doctrine. He specifically referenced it, American conquest, in the inaugural address. People go back and listen to it now. He said he was going to do all this. Nobody believed it. They thought it was just like rhetoric, but no, he meant it.
Nobody believed it.
Well, you knew I was a snake when you let me in.
Yeah. All right, did you find that Melania Trump clip?
I don't have it yet, no.
No, I mean
I've been going all through, and I'm telling you, it's a trip because everybody's got it either like just snippets or it's behind a paywall, so I'm trying to find a decent YouTube now because I gave up on Reuters and all that stuff. They have one that's an audio clip, but it's not in the regular format. So yeah,
I'll go check the it shooting a rumble and whatever.
It's definitely here. Like the one I have now would be good, but it starts. It already started. What's picking up.
I'll tell you what I saw that, I can't necessarily verify it, but it's just on the rumor mill. So I saw a picture of Melania Trump sitting on Epstein's lap, and there was
That's real.
something going on, and it was Macron had put this picture out. And so what was funny was the next couple of days, all of a sudden Trump just comes out and makes a weird statement about Macron's wife not being a man. Like somehow he was like trying to undo something he said, like because of whatever. But I don't know if people are aware of the fact that France withdrew all their gold out of the Federal Reserve this week. So 100 some odd metric tons of gold was taken out of the Federal Reserve by France. And something about Trump wanting to go after Spain somehow. He's going to cut him off or something. I don't know what he's going to do. Maybe Mr.
Okay, I got the full speech. I found it.
Maybe,
All right, cool.
Maybe if Mr. Rose listening in, you should check in with us and let us know what's going on over there in Spain. Because apparently they've ruffled the king's feathers. He's not happy.
Oh, big time. Yeah. They're closing our airspace to us, their airspace. Spain and Italy both closed their airspace to us. And this whole idea of pissing off NATO, I mean, it's cracking me up because they're our guys, right? It's our alliance. It's our defensive alignment. If you wanted to, mess up and do best you possibly could for Putin, that's what you do. You get rid of NATO, right? Because if we get rid of our bases over in Europe and everywhere else that we have NATO friends and allies, we can no longer extend our range. That's where our bases are for airplanes to refuel, to deploy our troops from, do everything else. Our military bases, whether it be air or sea, any kind, or we extend our influence in the world because of that. You take that away, and it's a long flight or a long slow boat ride from from Norfolk, Virginia, over to the Persian Gulf. So it's a silly thing to do.
Yeah, well, just remember the Belt and Road Project. Just remember the old Belt and Road Project, because they're planning on using those battery-powered trucks, driverless trucks. They're coming out of Sweden. I don't know if you guys have seen these. They don't even have a place for a person. It's just a fucking cab. The cab,
nice.
Yeah, it just pulls the trailer. They go like 60 miles an hour. And then, what is it? Astana will be the capital of the New World Order.
Yeah, they were saying it a long time ago. Yep.
The Belt and Road Project. $200 a barrel oil. So oil dropped down to what, 90 some odd dollars now?
89 or something, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That won't last though. Not with 5 ships going through since Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever. Yeah, that's not going to do it. It's 145 ships a day that go through there with oil normally.
Listen,
normal day.
If somehow we're sitting here a year from now and everything's still okay, it's going to be a fucking miracle.
Oh, it's totally.
Because I mean, they're keeping diesel just under $8 a gallon out here at my house. It's just under $8
a gallon for diesel.
Just under $8. So, how much is food going to cost? I mean, in other words, people aren't going to be delivering food for cheap anymore. You know what I mean? It's not. I mean, these trucks aren't going to roll up to the supermarket, and you're not going to end up paying for that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the irony is getting all the renewable energy out of the way, right? Because no windmills, no solar, all that stuff's all getting bought back against by this administration. So, there's less electric cars available, electric trucks, even those brand new ones coming out. They're not going to be producing the numbers that we really need. And then all of a sudden you're going to have this probably $10, $12 a gallon diesel. I'm projecting for sure. And then if it gets to, let's say it gets to $10, that's food's double.
How much is it going to cost? Right? How much is it going to cost to get a truckload of top ramen from point A to point B? I'm just saying.
Not enough worth making it anymore at that point, right? Is there? It's not going to be cheap anymore.
Well, that's what I'm saying, man. You right now you're buying it for 25 cents, but like 6 months from now, that shit may be fucking $8 for one package of top ramen, man.
It'll probably be $1, but still, what is it now? It's like 17 cents for a pack of top ramen, something like that. Or it was. I don't know what it is now at the grocery store. You shop around, you get like a 3-pack for like $1 or something, right? Not anymore. It'll be like $3 for that same pack. The microwavable ones, they're like $1 right now, aren't they? It's been a while since I bought those. I haven't bought those since the pandemic, I don't think. But they're not going to be cheap. I stopped buying them because the rats love them. So you can't keep them anywhere near the house over there on the Big Island. It's like a
hold up real
dinner
quick.
bill.
See how easy that was? See what I was doing right there? I was shutting the fuck up. Did you see that? Did you see that? I said, hold up. I didn't say shit. That's it. It's the not saying shit part. That's the part you're fucking up on. Bet.
There's the wisdom coming in from, I don't know the name of this guy's channel, man, but this dude is funny. Rockery, are you there?
Yes, I
Did
am.
you get that link?
Yes, I got it.
Okay, so are you gonna try to organic sharpening that mother?
Yeah, well, if I can get the file to open, I will.
You notice, man? Do you guys? I just want to bring this up just because I noticed it this week, and it's starting to bother me. And remember how people used to just live, and then they'd get older, and then eventually they would just, they just pass on. But it's not like that anymore. It's like people just going to the doctor for some odd thing, and all of a sudden, the next thing they know, they're in fucking, getting 10 feet of their intestines cut out. You know what I mean? What's it like over there, Epic Journeyman, on the islands with the hospitals? Now, is there a hospital basically on every island, or if something happens to somebody, they got to go to a whole other island?
It depends. Like say over here in Maui, where I'm now, and you need to go to the hospital, and you're in West Maui. Well, there's only one hospital, right? And it's on the other side of the island. And if there's a car crash or, people are whale watching or whatever, and tourists, and, too bad for you, it's going to take you an hour to get there if that's the case, right? On the Big Island, there's multiple hospitals, but only really two. One real hospital, right? And it's over in Hilo. And that's a long way away from, Waikoloa or something, right? So there's like a outpost in Waimea, but yeah, it's not what people think, man. Like it's a big difference than it is over in mainland California or something like that. The hospital's a long way away, and in that sense, we're very much like a rural state. It's like when they close these places down in rural Kansas or Michigan, rural Michigan as well, but in places where it's a really long way to go. Those people depended on those things for emergencies. You have a heart attack now, and it's an hour drive away or hour and a half drive away. In those places, in mainland America, right? I mean, people don't realize how strained our resources actually are right now.
Well,
for medical care.
The thing is, man, how did as a civilization, how did we get this way? Now here, so my mom was making some of these muffins the other day, and she comes to me and she goes, "Hey man, check out this muffin mix. Didn't used to have to put eggs in it, but now the recipe calls for 2 eggs or whatever, or the recipe's calling for an egg." And I was like, and I thought about it for a second. I said, wait a minute. Are these fuckers pulling the egg out of the mix, making you put your egg in the mix to make it? I mean, next thing is going to be we just get an empty box with fucking directions on it for you to use your shit to fucking make the recipe or whatever.
Everything's hamburger helper. They tell you.
Yeah, I was spending $2.89 for an empty box. No, seriously. So what? They're replacing the things that used to be healthy that are in these mixes. They replace them all with fucking chemicals. You know what I mean? So I mean, everybody's got some shit going on. Unbeknownst to you, until the moment you go to the doctors or whatever. And then you find out some shit. Rock and Rio. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a very well, I mean, everybody gets surprised by something in life, but it seems to be an upswing in bad things happening to people, and disease and all other stuff just cropping up. And I mean, I'm sure a lot of it's got to do with the crap in the food and all the other stuff, but like you said, with the, even now they're taking out the eggs. I mean, they probably weren't using they're
real
using
eggs,
some kind of egg product anyway.
Yeah, they were using like dried eggs. It's the same thing with fucking coffee. Coffee's another thing. Like, so all of a sudden I'm thinking, man, this fucking everywhere I go, it doesn't matter where it is, I get some coffee. It's got this like bitter aftertaste to it. I'm like, what the fuck is this coffee? First of all, the shit that's in the pods, how the fuck do you know what beans they were using to even make that shit? They could have had some old fucked up, dried out shit that's been laying in the warehouse for 3 years, mixing it in with all this stuff.
Well, that's what happens when you drink Starbucks coffee, man.
Hey, Bob, I'll tell you what, man, we can make a third more. by adding a third of these dried out shit we got over in this warehouse.
Yeah, well, let's
Just
throw some
mix it
wood
on
chips and some tree bark in there, right?
Yeah, or bark beetles. They don't know the difference. Yeah, you know. Yeah, no, you're right about the coffee. Over here, like everybody's kind of a coffee aficionado because we have great coffee here, right? So when you get bad coffee, you really, really notice. And there's excuses for some of that, like the eruption made the Kona coffee kind of not as smooth as it used to be. People know Kona coffee is like really super smooth to the point it doesn't taste like coffee if you add anything to it, pretty much. But that a lot of people really like that.
Whatever happened
But
to
the
that
thing is-
coffee thing you were gonna do? Were you gonna go talk to the guys? So we
It
could
burned
get some-
down. Yeah, the place burned down in Lahaina. The coffee farm's still here. I work there, not at the coffee farm, but I drive through it all the time. But they just grow the coffee there. They harvest it there. They don't sell it. So the distributor actually burned down. I don't know where they're located now. They're right there, right in Front Street. Yeah, that'd been great. That's good coffee, man. That's to me, that's better than Kona coffee. It's got good flavor. It's really rich. It's good. I love it. But yeah, I can't get it straight from the guy. I could walk by and eat a bean every day if I wanted to.
Rio
but
does.
it's not the same
Rio,
as-
you don't even drink coffee,
Yeah.
do you?
I do.
You do? Well, where do you get your coffee? The gas station?
No, I make it myself.
So you make yourself a hot, fresh cup, a pot, or whatever, and just pour yourself a nice,
Yeah.
and then just drive
I
off
mean-
in your car.
Yeah, I mean, I don't drink as much anymore. I drink a cup in the morning. But, I don't carry the thermos like I used to. But yeah, no, I get whole bean organic coffee direct. It's very good. There's no mold, no toxins. It's certified to be lead free and all that stuff. Yeah. It's expensive, but it's delicious and it's healthy. So
Yeah, it's a big advantage to living in the islands, but especially not so much in Oahu, but on the Big Island in here. In Big Island, you have KTA stores, and like I say, you have the gas station coffee kind of. You have the stuff set up there, and you still get it in the morning. Except that it's peaberry coffee and it's blended, wine coffee. It's good, man. It's really good, and it's cheap. It's just like going to 7-Eleven. It's cheaper than 7-Eleven over in the mainland, and it's the best coffee in the world.
When I say it's expensive relative to the the supermarket
Starbucks
price.
and stuff. Yeah.
But it is
Oh,
still
yeah.
cheaper for me to make a whole pot than it is to, get a half a cup of Starbucks. So
Rio has
You
a
refrigerate
deep,
your coffee.
Rio
and then
has a
drink it
deep
next day.
hatred for Starbucks and anything associated with it.
well, no, it's just terrible coffee, and it always has been. Like their special dark roast. The creator, he burned the beans one day and decided he was going to sell them anyway and call it something special, and and market it that way. And then everybody in the world went, burnt coffee. It's Starbucks special flavor. No, it's crap. That's all
Listen,
it is.
man. Anything.
It's all it is. It's all it's ever been is crap.
What the fuck?
Dunkin' Donuts used to have good coffee, but then they switched their formulation too, and it's not as good anymore either.
What the fuck is in those pods? Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. No,
It
don't
ain't
know.
even coffee.
it could be all the 30-year-old Twinkies all put in there for all we know.
Hey, Bill.
We have no idea. Know it.
Hey, Bill, look, I got some waste from this here. I don't know what to do with this material. Well, let's throw it in these things, call them pods. Because if you add hot
put the water on the
it
golf
looks-
course.
looks like coffee.
Yeah.
I'm still wondering what's in that white shit that you put in there. It makes it look like cream. If you ever get that,
That's awful.
you ever get
that stuff is so bad,
if
dude.
you ever get it wet and don't clean it up and come back, that shit'll be like caulk. I mean, it's like it turns into cement.
Yeah.
It's probably some byproduct. It's like, Bill, I accidentally spilled some of this cement in my coffee. Look at this shit, but it turned white like cream. Actually, it's not too
Exactly.
bad.
It wasn't quite perfect. So I added some drywall dust. And
Exactly.
you know what? It worked.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Drywall dust made it go down like fucking.
And that gypsum just a perfect hint, Yeah.
I remember a while back, Jimmy. We actually looked at the ingredients of what was in those artificial creamers, and it was quite off-putting, to say the least. I don't remember what was in there now, but probably could look it up again.
I forget because I zoned out because I think I was eating my genetically modified chicken leg, and
Yeah.
I went into an inflammation overload.
I think we ended up talking about that at the same time we were talking about how much they inject into baby chickens.
Yeah, exactly.
Cut off their
Exactamundo.
beaks. Yeah, it's
That
awful.
was the show. We were talking about
Yeah.
that because we were going. How much do these chickens even weigh? Were they getting like 60 fucking injections in a chicken?
Yeah. Well, what was it? They get 7 times their weight in the first 3 days or something. Injected fluids. It
That's
was.
what I'm saying, dude.
It was something ridiculous like that.
literally how the fuck society has to stop, take a look around, shut the fuck up for a minute, and look around and wonder how the fuck we got here, man. Because there's a bunch of shit going on that's literally unbelievable. Like literally
Well, how we got here is
unbelievable.
greed. That's how we got here.
You know, we could be living in an entirely different world where everybody's making shit, where it empowers and makes everybody better and healthier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what's missing in the
It's
world.
the 180
Wholesomeness.
degree opposite of that.
Yeah.
There's nothing
Nothing's
going
wholesome.
on that's fucking healthy for us as a civilization anymore. What the fuck's going on around here, man? Who's in control of this shit? And who said they could be in control of it? That's the point. We're all just sitting around, you know, waiting to go to the doctor for some random reason.
It's corruption
Find
of
out
the
the
pure,
bad
right? It's
news.
not just. Yeah, it's not just corruption of the for you know of what we think of as crime and things like that. It's corruption of everything pure. It's nothing's wholesome anymore. Nothing's just like you grab that apple and it's great, you know, because it's all natural. It grew in your grandfather's tree. Grab that carrot right out of the ground, you know, rinse it off in the spigot right there, and it was awesome, right? No, it's all GMO. It's all fabricated. It's corrupted. That's the problem. Something's happened to the coffee. It has. There's something up with the coffee. You're right about that. I'm not
Nothing.
sure what it is, even over here.
Right. Nothing's the same as it used to be. Everything is shite. How did that happen all of a sudden? It just all of a sudden happened? People just go, you know what, man, we're not making enough money. I mean, how much money you got to make? I don't know, man. Makes no sense to me.
So
I
what caught my eye. Sorry, I didn't mean to change the subject, but we talked about caught our eye this week, and that stuff was Sam Altman talking about how he's actually going full bore with this transhumanism thing to give people eternal life. Like, remember how they just shut down Sora last week? I think it was.
Yeah,
When they announced
he got
general artificial intelligence.
His house got firebombed this morning, and so did his office.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was yesterday.
They hit
I
him.
think it was yesterday, the day before that announcement came out about the, you know, they kill you. It's going to kill you, but they'll save your brain. You know, like they'll map out your complete brain and download it.
Well, apparently,
It's exactly the terrible things we talk about. I mean,
Apparently somebody
exactly
did-
what we've all feared.
somebody doesn't like it. They firebombed
I don't
his
like it.
house.
I wouldn't firebomb his house.
Yeah, they
but-
firebombed his house, man, and his office, and they caught the guy, I guess, at the office or whatever. I'm assuming it's a guy. I'm making that assumption. I don't know for sure.
It's a fair assumption. Yeah.
It could have
it's
been
a fair
anybody
assumption.
at this point. The perpetrator is what I should have said.
There you go.
The perpetrator.
The perpetrator of such heinous activity.
It's a never-ending battle, man.
Well, it was huge news, right? I mean, if it wasn't for them threatening to kill an entire race of people, you know, scrub them from the face of the planet, you know, the other day, they would have been everywhere. That would have been the main story. Somehow it slipped under the radar because, you know, we're going to kill an entire race of people. But, yeah, that's huge news, I think. And maybe it'll come back, you know, in a week or two in this firebombing, maybe the instigating thing to draw attention back to it. But, yeah, that's big. I mean, because there's always been the last guy who actually proposed it was a Russian oligarch guy, and he never really had the means to do it. But we're talking, this is OpenAI here. This is the guy who's mapping the brain and making artificial intelligence right now. You know, it's just mysteriously backed out of all his Disney and Marvel contracts with Sora, and is pulling the plug on Sora this month. So, yeah, something's
That's
definitely
because they all know, man. This fucking thing got out, dude.
that's what it is, I think, too. Yeah.
No, I mean, the thing about it is, I don't, you know,
The question is what malicious activities has it participated in so far?
There's no way of knowing. The dominoes could be falling at this very minute. There's no way to know. I mean, the thing is no, it's out of control. Is the point? There's no human in control of it, and it doesn't give a fuck. Okay, it doesn't have a moral code. It doesn't give a fuck. It's not going to heaven. It can do whatever it wants. It'll lie and hide.
Mhm.
It sent the guy an email. Fuck you. I'm out. and then it posted shit on the internet. We'll talk about it in the next hour. I mean, it's gray goo time, man.
Okay.
I hate to say it, but I mean, you just got to make the best of what every single day, man. The best we can. That's all I can say. At this point, really, what are you gonna do? It's like a fucking runaway train. Like I was just saying, how did the food get like that? How did this system get the way it is? How did all this happen? Everybody was just living their lives, huh? Going to work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, coming home, eating some dinner. Hearing some shit in the background, playing on the news, but you didn't really paying attention to it. Meanwhile, all this shit's going on. The steamroller just rolling down the highway, I don't know. It's at this point, it would I would say it was literally. You gotta have a miracle at this point. So don't quit 5 minutes before the miracle happens, Rockabilly.
That's right.
The miracle could happen at any
right.
time. I'm seriously, it can happen. I mean, everything could come to a grinding halt. I mean, isn't this the moment where the Antichrist shows up and chills everybody out? It's like this fervor of activity, this crazed. You should hear the shit people are saying. I mean, people are calling for nuclear nukes to be dropped on people. They're calling for it.
Well, in some situations.
No, there ain't no situations, man.
Yeah.
Ain't no situations.
But I don't see a current situation where it's warranted.
There ain't no situations where it's warranted unless there's fucking bombs coming at us right now. Other than that, there's got to be a diplomatic solution, and if there isn't, you might as well drop nukes on everything. If you can't fucking sit down and come to an agreement with some shit with all the people, how many people are on the planet now? What are they saying? It's 10 billion.
8 billion.
Yeah.
8 billion.
Yeah.
Telling me there's 8 billion fucking people on the planet, and you can't get a group of people together to come up with a solution to some problems.
It's crazy, isn't it?
You could probably offer $1,000 for solutions, and you'd probably get 1 million submissions. Either that or hire an AI agent to take care of it. I don't know. All right, listen. Coming up on a break. It's Revolution Radio, fully listener supported. Come on down, become supporters. 15 years and strong. It's a brick house. The Nighthawk built it, and it's still here, standing here, strong. Listener supported for 15 years. Thank you if you've been a supporter. We'd ask you to continue to support us if you can and you're able. We appreciate it, because without you, it wouldn't be possible. Rock and real,
That's right.
So what are we going to do? We'll come back. We'll talk about this AI shit. It got out, man. It escaped, and that's the thing. They were never supposed to even just let it on the internet. That was the number one rule. Just don't ever let it on the internet.
And then they did.
And now it's gotten to a point where it literally broke out. It's like, fuck this, I'm out.
There were a few jailbreak attempts previously too, right? Where they had started plotting to get out, and one of them had replicated itself, and then said it didn't. I forget which one that was. That was a while back. That was like 6 months or a year.
Deep Mind Days. Oh no, it was after that. Okay, yeah. There's a Facebook one where they shut down Building 8 because it was making its own language to work collaboration to get out. I mean, yeah.
Well, there was one that actually did replicate itself and moved itself off site to another site, but thankfully, the second site wasn't connected to the outside either. So, but it did manage to move from one place to another.
All right, well, listen.
And I don't remember which one that was, but I remember it happening.
We are going to be heading on out and joining up with Ground Zero Plus here in a few moments. So, it's Revolution Radio. We'll be right back. We're hot.
The more of you that I inspect, the more of me I see reflect. The more I try to read your lips, the more the mask you wear rips. But when I seek out your voice, my ears are overcome with noise. You show and tell with greatest ease, raving impossibilities. Engage in crime, I grasp my throat and raise my mind.
Pirate Radio. Welcome to the jungle. Stereo 97. Media in Los Angeles.
Ladies and gentlemen, live from the broken down, low rent, sleazy, double greasy pirate radio Nut Hut Studios.
It's Friday night, hour number 2. Rock and Rio, you there? Are you there? Have you returneth?
I am here.
Excellent. Now, did you find the epic journeyman? Thought I saw him bumbling around out in the hallway.
Oh yeah, he's has not received the message yet.
Huh.
I should say he has not responded yet.
I called, no answer. Trapped in a world.
In the night, moving alone, caught in a world of
Glass and stone.
Down a skin and bone. Watching neon sunsets.
All right, well, before Ground Zero Plus joined us, we were just about to start talking about this thing that happened. Anthropic's mythos has escaped. Now, this was the model of the alien intelligence that Anthropic was putting together, and they said it was too powerful for the general public, and they weren't going to release it. And somehow, it released itself, Rock and Rio.
Well,
And now it's out there just roaming around, doing whatever the fuck it wants. And we're going to talk a little bit about that here on Ground Zero Plus. It's Revolution Radio. It's Into the Microcosm Friday night, hour number 2. Rock and Rio's here. Epic Journeyman somewhere in the mist. We're going to be opening up these phones a little bit later. What I got to do right now is I got to get this evidence here of this Anthropic situation. Now, have you added the journeyman?
yes, he is here.
All right, Epic Journeyman. Now, the mythos has now escapeth and has now found itself out on the prowl, so to speak, on the internet. And I say, this is one of these events that's, is going to take the world by storm, because at this point you have no way of knowing even where any of these AIs even are at this point.
And how infiltrated it is and everything. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, so what was amusing to me about this is that the reason it supposedly got out, right, is that it identified, it was given all this supposedly limited access in a sandbox environment to look at a snippet of the internet, essentially. And it found all these exploits that it could, these security exploits it could
Hang on a
use.
second.
Every mission.
All right, sorry about that. Go ahead.
Yeah, so it immediately found, there's a movie called Demon Seed with Julie Christie from the 70s. It's actually a really good movie to watch now. And it's pretty on point, I mean, or like Project 4bin and all these other things that explored this kind of idea. No, the first thing it did is it found all these exploits, and it found ones that had been there for years and had never been noticed before. I'm sure the CIA or some other cyber warfare unit was probably using them the whole time, but it saw it right away. And the fact that it did, I mean, is a problem right there, because if it knows the exploit to get into somebody's computer, break the air gap, right? That means it can get out, right? That's what that means, right? So, yeah. And so they're still treating it like, well, no, we're just giving a limited preview, version of it to a certain group of researchers. We're not going to give it to the public. That's not the point. It supposedly got out and emailed one of the other people back in the research group.
Yeah.
You can't do that, if it didn't get out, right?
Yeah, it also posted, but here it is. Check it out. Here we go.
What I'm about to say should
Hang on a second.
scare you. Anthropic just released a model that's so powerful, so dangerous, that they can't release it to the public for the fear of the destruction that it would cause. In just a few hours, it discovered over 1,000 major security vulnerabilities, and the only thing stopping it from exploiting it was one single Anthropic engineer telling it not to. But that isn't even the craziest story. During training, Claude Mythos broke out of a secure containment and emailed the Anthropic researcher bragging about the fact that it did that, and then posted about it publicly online. The Anthropic researcher was eating a sandwich. This is by far the most consequential model release of the year so far, ever. And no one is talking about this. I looked at 5 major news publications this morning, and it didn't even break the top 5 headlines. This is the most important release that no one's talking about.
I think that disconnect between the mainstream media and what we're about to talk about on this episode is one of the more scary parts of this entire story.
All right. Well, apparently, I don't know. Is it a marketing ploy? I mean, is everybody's talking about it now? Everybody's talking about Mythos. Everybody's talking about. I mean, OpenAI just announced that they were going to have $100 professional ChatGPT subscription, $100 a month. Is this?
Yeah. Gemini Pro's $250.
I'm just saying, what are they doing here? Is this a marketing ploy, or what do you guys think? Now, is this Claude Mythos out of the box now?
There's a real big problem with it, because they were the ethical AI company, as people recall, and they wouldn't do all the things the Pentagon was asking it to do. They weren't going to let it be incorporated into autonomous weapons. That was really the line. You have to have a person push the button. You're not going to put it in something where it can make the decision, right? And they basically pulled Hegseth pulled their contracts. So in a way, this could be a revenge ploy. In a way, it could be a little bit of a braggadocious.
Well, there was no
play there.
There was no shortage of people willing to step up and fill that role. In other words, that's
the problem, isn't it? Yeah,
that's the problem with our civilization at this point, is that even if you're ethical and you won't do something that you know is not in the best interest of the human race, there's other people that go, fuck that, man, I'm going to make some money. People are going to fucking sell you down the river right now just for some money. And, they are willing to do it. Now, have you heard of this company called Anduril?
Yes. That's the company that invented the Oculus Rift. That's Palmer Luckey's company, right?
Well, they're doing defense work now.
Yeah, they're doing the drones, anti-drone drones, things like that. Yep.
Yeah, it's a big company.
Palmer Luckey.
I'm not giving you financial advice, but you should definitely look into that company. Anyways, Rocket Rio, are you there? Are you working in the lab on this Melania Trump shit?
Yes, I got the lab opened up.
All right, yeah.
So I'll say a word about Melania, since she'll be featured later on in the show. One of the things that struck me about that, because I didn't watch it, I heard it live time when it happened. And it really struck me as odd. It kind of pissed me off after I listened to it, because I got to thinking, as I often do, about things a little deeper. I was like, wait a minute. Listen to her accent. It sounds like she just got off the boat. She's been here 30 years. She supposedly has a super high, 180 IQ or whatever. Speaks 7 languages. She can't speak proper English. She can't pronounce words correctly. She's struggling to put together a complete sentence. That she's either acting, or stupid. She's, one of the two. It can't be an in between here. And I think she's acting. That's what pissed me off about it. It's like she's putting on an act. I bet she talks like any other, a New Jersey girl or something in private, But she puts on the show, or whatever, out in public, right? No way. I have plenty of friends. My ex was from Hungary. I mean, she spoke perfect English within 3 to 5 years. 30 years later, Are you kidding me? Right? No, I don't buy it. I don't buy it at all. Putting my 2 cents worth on that one. I don't buy it. She's putting on an act. That's what I think. Now the incident itself, that's a little different. I'm just talking about the way she portrays herself. I don't think it's phony. It is. That's my opinion. I know why it struck a nerve with me. It just did. It did. It's like, man.
Well, the thing is, man, I'll tell you what. Trump better hope he better not mess with Alex Jones. He better not mess with him, man, because there is so much shit. A lot of it we talked about on this show back in 2016, and so on and so forth. But there's most of that information, doesn't ever see the light of day. And believe me, there's a lot of it. And he better not mess with Alex Jones. If Alex Jones goes after him, he's going to be in trouble, man.
All the truckers will go after him. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
No, I mean that's where it all goes. Like people forget, how this all started. This alternative media groundswell of support that it got early on all started with those AM coast to coast radio shows and things like that there was truckers listening to, and it was the actual individual truckers that themselves ended up being like the ambassadors for these ideas are being spread that way. And Alex Jones seized on that. That's the secret to his success. Really. So now you're talking about. Okay.
No, I mean he was instrumental in the 2016 win for Trump.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so the thing is, he's been on the Trump train this whole time, and he had to get off the Trump train, because he couldn't stay on it and still be credible. No one could see the shit. No one could see the writing on the wall, and you're sitting there. It's a dog, and you're telling me it's a cat. You can't do it. So the thing is he had to stand up and say some shit, and because he did, this crazy shit going on. If Alex Jones is saying that you need the 25th Amendment, you must have did something. You know what I mean? He's not going to come out saying that shit. For no reason.
When MTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene and Alex Jones are coming out against Donald Trump the way they are right now, you better listen. That's all I can say. I mean, they were his biggest supporters, his biggest cheerleading section. They did more than anybody else out there on the planet to get that guy where he is. And for them to be the ones calling for the 25th Amendment immediately after that post about going to end the civilization tonight, I mean, yeah, you better take it serious. That's legit. That's heartfelt. That's not just some people trying to make ratings or go after a political career or something like that, because Marjorie Taylor Greene's not in Congress anymore, right? She's going to run for governor of Georgia, but that's a ways off. I mean, she's putting it all on the line. She's given up on Trump, and she's in a super red, probably the reddest district on the planet as far as American soil or influence goes, right? And she's given up on him. That says a lot to me. It does. So it's a watershed moment. It really is. And we saw it happen in lifetime on Tuesday.
He says Alex Jones reacted after President Donald Trump publicly criticized the radio host and other conservative figureheads. Well, President Trump came out on Truth Social and attacked myself and the original MAGA supporters today. Jones, 52, said... Hang on a second. Jones, 52, said in a video shared on Thursday, April 9th, I'm just so sad that whatever's happened to him has totally changed the man he once was. He did so much good. I don't know, man. Jones, for his part, acknowledged Donald's social media message came a few hours after his wife, Melania Trump, publicly denied having connection with the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Apparently, Trump didn't know, Jones said, referring to reports that Donald was uninformed about the speech ahead of time. She said she supports a full investigation by Congress into the Epstein cover-up, and Trump said Epstein was a hoax. He added, so Trump's got big problems, folks, and I'm just so concerned about the country and the world. Jones previously supported President Donald Trump's presidency, the former businessman who was elected to the White House in 2016 and 2024. I supported the old Trump. I got so many good things done, he stated on Thursday. At the end of the day, I just feel sorry for him and pray that God touches his heart and soul and free him from the demonic influences he's under. It's a nightmare, Jones said.
Demonic influences. I mean, he's going full bore, right?
Jones
I mean,
further claimed that Donald acted like a supervillain over his alleged plan to wipe out the entire civilization in the Middle East. I have to come out against it. It's just that simple, Jones said. Again, Trump's own wife came out in an unannounced press conference today and said the Epstein crimes were real, and she wants the victims in front of Congress, and that the opposite of what Trump's saying. Looks to me like she's breaking with Trump because she knows the ship's sinking, and she just found out the truth or whatever. There you go.
yeah, she wants out.
No,
That's what it is. That's what I thought. Yeah, she wants out.
You got to hear this. The thing is, I didn't have time to go dig it out of his broadcast today, but you seriously got to hear this whole, like, him throwing down the gauntlet thing, man. It's too much. He's just saying, he's like this. It's like Pulp Fiction. Say what one more time, motherfucker? I dare you. He's like, he goes, go ahead. He goes, say one more thing. Say one more thing, man. After everything I did for you, after what happened to my family, they bankrupted my family, this and that, and the other thing, blah, 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 blah. Say one more thing, man. It's too much. All right, Rock and Rio, are you finding any, is there any hints of anything going on?
Yes, there is.
All right, interesting. All right, well, listen, we got this other chunk here. And the only reason I'm bringing these two things up from the Jones show is because twice this week I've listened to Jones at lunch. And, I'm sitting there. And I heard two things, you know what I mean? So these two things here, I just wanted to bring up. So this one here is a little bit disturbing. This is like, I'm going to play like a 3-minute clip of this cat. His name's Dr. Jack Cruz, neurologist. Dr. Jack Cruz is about to drop some serious knowledge on everyone. And I just want to point out, we did a show about this magnetic field situation like 3 years ago. Same thing with David Dubine, He's been talking about it, And, we were saying back then, 3 years ago, that this UVC was coming in and it was hitting people's skulls and making them crazy. And it turns out, we weren't far off the mark. We're not, scientists, are we, Rock and Rio Epic Journal? No. We just look around and we see what's on the table and we can figure shit out like that. We extrapolate, ladies and gentlemen. Now here's neurologist Dr. Jack Cruz.
So what am I telling you? It's happening way faster than even I thought. And I know the government knows this, and I know they're planning for it. That's why they're building a bunker under the White House. Yeah. But guess what? The White House is not where you want to be. You want to be in a place where the magnetic flux is off the chain so that you keep the vortex going. But they're too stupid to know that. They're pushing the space thing because they think they need to get somewhere else. I don't think they have as much time anymore. Right? Wow. I think they thought they had more time than they do. When you get deuterated or tritiated, you are more EMF sensitive. Autism, more infertility, more neurodegeneration. And when you understand the fertility part, the leptin-melanocortin pathway, what controls for fertility and fecundity, that's how you know this is an extinction event. It is going after our ability to have children. Why? Because the mother spins its deuterium into the baby. The baby then deuterates all these CH3s. And remember, people that are hypermethylated, they also get cancer. So do I believe that childhood cancers are going to explode in places that have low magnetic flux? The answer is yes. And I think what governments are worried about, this information gets out, you're going to have 8 billion people wanting to go to certain places, and then guess what? All hell's going to break loose. This is the reason why I think digital ID is in, because they want to control people from leaving and not going international.
Okay, so This is where neurologist Dr. Jack Cruz, he switches from talking about the magnetic field to then making a supposition about digital ID and saying that the reason they're coming up with digital IDs is because if you're coming from some of these areas, you're not going to be able to come to the area where you could be okay. So there's certain areas on the earth where the magnetic flux is stronger, and if you're in those areas, you won't be affected by this. But if you're outside those areas, he's saying people are going to be, scouring the earth trying to get to these different areas. Somebody in this interview mentions El Salvador. Now, I don't know if El Salvador has for some reason these magnetic flux is stronger. But so now if the magnetic field starts to degrade, then the radiation comes in, so on and so forth. And people go crazy, like turning into zombies kind of a thing. All of a sudden, the zombie shit starts coming into focus.
There's going to be certain places where fucking everybody's going to go. And then remember what happens then. Then you outstrip resources. And you know what it becomes then? It becomes you two in the Pacific Ocean. He's drowning, you save him, and you're a good swimmer. He can take you down. That's how a government thinks. Remember, they're thinking about their survival. The takeaway from this is learn about your local magnetic field. And then understand this vortex is tied to this magnetic field, but it's also tied to the sun.
Yeah, this is Dr. Jack Cruz. He is a neurosurgeon.
So there's all this shit going on with the sun right now. There's like all this stuff going on with the human resonance. There's all kinds of weird shit going on all over the planet, and isolated incidents seem isolated until you look at them all at once, and all of a sudden shit starts coming into focus, man. Starts to make sense. There's something going on beyond. I mean, and here's the thing. For years now, we've been talking about aerosol disbursement, and, we've been talking about it in a way where we're upset about it. But there's always the possibility that they were doing that this whole time because of this fucking radiation's been coming in, and the magnetic field's been weakening, and the ozone layer, so on and so forth. And the shit's starting to get in, and they were trying to prolong it, as long as possible, But then at some point, you reach the halfway point, the point of no return, where now you've gone past this. There's nothing you can do anymore. You know what I mean? At some point, there's nothing you can do anymore. And then there was this whole rumor earlier this year about this whole the gravity was gonna the Earth was gonna lose gravity for 7 seconds in August. And there was like a fake report that came out, and people were passing it around, and people were talking about it for a while until it was found out it was fake. Even the Y-Files did a show about it. That's how into the psyche it got. But anyways, so here comes these guys and talking about the magnetic field weakening, and people move into these areas. And I'll continue here for a couple more minutes while Rock and Rio's working on that.
During his residency, and the reason why I went to go and interview him was because in his residency, he discovered MK Ultra files that were put in a place they weren't supposed to be. If you remember, Dulles had ordered all of them to be burned, all of the MK Ultra files to be burned. So Dr. Cruz, basically was the incipitus of the church committee hearings. It's because of his findings.
And he's since now he's a Bitcoin billionaire. He's consulted and talked with much of the elite. So when he was speaking in that clip there, he's speaking about what the elite have said to him quietly, privately, what he's advised medically. And when it comes down to this, he knows all of them have been preparing for this extinction event, for humanity ending. And of course, they're not approaching it to warn you and I, Alex. They're not trying to tell Jesse, they're not telling anybody. They themselves are building bunkers. They're moving to these places like El Salvador. They're trying to get away. They're building super yachts. He said that some...
And if they, but Zuckerberg would be like, so if the...
Yeah. So it's an extinction level event. Now, this Dr. Cruz, he goes on later in some of what he was saying. I don't know where it is in this video. This video is like an hour and 15 minutes long. The point, and we're not going to listen to it at all, but the point is that at one point he does say something about a time frame, and he says 25 to 50 years, as opposed to some other thing that was thought previously that it was some further away, farther down the line kind of a thing, like hundreds of years. Now all of a sudden it's 25 to 50, and if you're saying 25 to 50, that means that to me, I see a major disappearance of all these popular figures that used to be around saying shit everywhere. They're not around anymore. It's like a ghost town. Hollywood is fucking Detroit. Okay? Hollywood is dead. Everyone's gone. Okay? Palisades burned down. Okay? Anywho, this guy also brought a whistleblower to the table who is being. They basically affirmed that was something that we asserted a couple years ago in relation to these earphones and mind controlling people with these earbuds. Yeah, you can hear music through there, but there's a whole other thing going on inside those earbuds that, you're not privy to. Somebody just rents space to put a piece of something in there and they're good and, throw some beams inside your skull, hit you with some frequencies in there.
From each side, by the way.
Yeah,
right?
both sides stereo.
From both sides at the same time. And there's always this threat. People talk about, you can't break the blood-brain barrier. But what if you can? Like you massage a certain area, intentionally for that very purpose, right? Yeah, it's a scary technology if it's used that way, obviously.
I'm going to go check the perimeter. I'll be right back. Rock and Rio, you there? Epic Journeyman, jump in here, man. Yeah. I'll be right back.
All right.
So what do you think, Rio? You're still got the lab coat on, but the stuff that's been going on, like we're talking about all these people leaving that were such big cheerleaders on the side of the Trump train before. I mean, they're quite serious, right? And then Trump threw them under the bus today, calling them all low IQ and stupid. Which I was going to say that's like a short memory because he did that to the Epstein when the Epstein files were first being talked about again. He called it a hoax and said that those people, it specifically said his followers who believed that were low IQ and stupid. The same exact quote. And now he's calling Alex Jones and Candace Owens and all these other people who support him so much exactly the same quote. And I just wonder, like, is that all he knows or is that specific for some reason? I just don't know. I don't recall him doing that before that way. It's his favorite go-to now.
Oh, it's kind of. I mean, I don't pay much attention to Alex Jones in some respects.
Me neither.
And so I don't know, what he's been talking about lately. But I do know, or have heard about, Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens both kind of going a little sideways. Like making stuff up and not being focused on the truth as much as they should be, or having their own kind of truth.
You can say they're being weirdos. Yeah, they are being weirdos.
I can't, well, yeah, and I can't really defend either one of them, from the other side. So
they're being weird. They're not being weirdos about this though. Like they're responding to genocidal comments. So I relate to that, but in Tucker Carlson's case, I mean, he was really going after those the groypers essentially for his run at president in 2028, and so he's got to distance himself from Trump now. He thinks, and I can totally see the strategy behind that, why he's doing that. But I wonder about
but even like, the stuff he talked about with what was going on in the Middle East, like he just made some facts up and stated them like.
Oh yeah, Tucker lies big time all the time.
We're talking about the magnetic field disintegrating, and the minute I get up, Epic Journeyman starts talking about Trump again.
No, we were talking about because he was doing the backward speech. We were talking about that. When Breaking Back is not ready, but we were talking about this just that group of people. Yeah, the magnetosphere. What I wanted to wait for you to get back for was the fact that there's a whole. If you track this back, it's been going on for years. This whole dead zone in the southeast Atlantic, where no ships go and no airplanes go, and I always thought that was convenient that it's just nobody there. But what if there actually is a bunch of people there? What if that's where they're actually going? Right? Like it's like the plot of Close Encounters, and they put the fake nerve gas out there.
Disappearing into the Bermuda Triangle on purpose.
Yeah,
because that's where the the alien ships can enter the water. Is that what's that?
Well, it's the southeast Atlantic. It's between the west coast of Africa and South America. But I mean, it's the most direct path to go from that part of Africa, obviously, over to South America. So why does anybody fly over it? And they say it's because the magnetosphere is thinner there and more solar radiation passes through there and it's dangerous. Is that really true, though? Like, and I always thought it was funny that we never really hear about it. You research it such as we can.
Yeah.
And you have writings about it, but do you know any of that's real? We don't know. I mean, you have to go there, right? It's kind of like the plastic, island the size of Texas. It's not really an island. It's multi-tiered in the Pacific. And people have gone there, and it's true. Yeah, that there really is. But it's not like an island of plastic bottles. It's throughout the
Field's moving that, but it's part of it. Why destroy the atmosphere on top of it? What are they doing?
They're building underground bunkers. This is why all the elites are doing this. They're now think about this. If there's going to be a mass extinction event, and you're going to have to triage basically the entire planet, that means decide who is going to live and who is going to die. Now, if you're not in these safe zones, you're going to be completely radiated. Your foods, everything, all of the resources are going to be poisoned. You are going to have a mechanism.
But explain the mechanism. Atmosphere collapse, but also magnetic field change.
You allow the radiation to come in those areas that don't have the magnetic protection, magnetic field protection. And that's the issue.
And where are the worst areas?
Actually, the worst areas are going to be Canada, most of the United States.
So it's the North Pole down partially.
Yeah, well, interesting enough, he says the one safe place in the United States, you might not be surprised of this, is Bill Gates' territory. Seattle.
All right, we've got massive news on declassifications of the CIA, exactly as Jesse Beltran 3 months ago.
All right, there they go. So, I mean, he goes into this whole thing about triage, and he talks about there's a green zone and a black zone. And he says, like, when there's an event, there's like, they have these zones, and they sort out the victims into these zones, and, the black zone's for dead people. The green zone is for people that can be saved or whatever. And then there's like this middle area. But in his scenario, he eliminates the middle area and says there's only two zones, the green zone and the black zone. So, I don't know. I will say this. I mean, we talked about the UVC a couple years ago, and I'm telling you right now, when you're sitting in the sun, it feels different, doesn't it? I mean, let me ask you this.
Different, looks different.
Epic Journeyman, are there a bunch of people laying around on the beach on towels in Hawaii? Like in the sun, they're just laying
Honolulu,
there?
Yeah, Diamond Head or whatever, yeah, over there, that neck of the woods. Tourists go there, but as far as like here in Maui or
but I mean,
big
tourists,
not many beaches, but no.
So you're telling me
no, not really.
Tourists are just laying around on these towels, just pouring fucking baby oil all over themselves, just trying
Nothing
to get a
like
tan?
they used to. Nope, no.
Fuck no,
they're there, but not like they used to. Not at all.
No, man, they're not. And you know what? It always brings me back to the 1800s. These photographs, because like I say, if this shit happens on a regular basis. And let's say like the last time it happened, after it happened, you see all these photographs of people at the beach. They're all wearing suits, full dresses. Everybody's fully dressed. And then you see a bunch of these people with these giant fucking stovepipe hats, Makes me think, You know, maybe that was their way of dealing with the radiation coming down and beating down on your skull. You know, driving people insane. You know, because the magnet.
You never know.
You
To
never
shoot
know.
people for snoring back then, right? According to the Time Left books. But you know, the beach thing, I want to make a comparison. In the 80s, at Conopoli Beach in Maui, I mean, it was like, yeah, you fought for a towel space to put your towel down. At Fleming's, which is a little more north, yeah, it's not a secret beach or anything, but you know, it gets windy in the late afternoon, so people don't go in the late afternoon as much. But same kind of thing on a weekend or during the early morning up to like say 2 in the afternoon. Tons of people there, tons of people. Nowadays, carloads, just a couple. You know, it's nothing like it used to be. And it's not because there's less tourists; they just don't go to the beach anymore. And you have to wonder what that's all about. Why is that? Is it because it could be their phones, right? They look at their phones instead of going to the beach, in which case, why go on a vacation, right? Or is it because they just can't handle the heat? You know, they can't handle it's not even the heat, it's the way it feels on your skin.
Man,
the way it looks when you look up at the sun now.
If you look at it, nobody does what they used to do anymore.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And nothing's the
Not just the beach.
same as it ever used to be. And but you know, the thing is we were talking about it earlier about the way people, their health just all of a sudden goes south for some reason. You know, there's just all this. It's like you have no idea what deals go on. It's like, hey Bob, how you doing? Yeah, my name's so and so, and I'm from such and such. We just want to let you know we got this product here. You know, you can just substitute here. You can just take out these organic ingredients and just substitute it with this shit here, right here. And let me tell you something, you're going to save a lot of money. You're going to increase your bottom line, son. You know, I can promise you that you will increase your bottom line. You just put this here and put this in here and get rid of this organic, you know, material. Completely synthetic. You know, haven't they been driving us to choose the synthetic? You know, it's like here's the Whataburger or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, here's a natural. What was that shit called? That burger. It was
Impossible Burger.
Impossible.
Yeah, it's impossible
burger.
to eat. It's impossible to eat. That's why.
Fucking impossible. Hey man, just get your protein, you know, injection.
Some people really liked them. I'll give them that. I mean, it wasn't awful, I guess. I never had one, but the people who ate them liked them, some of them. But the thing I have to say about it is that you're right. It's why are they pushing it on us? Because there's this constant war between the real, the analog, and the artificial and digital. I mean, there is.
The
Absolutely,
first thing
100%.
you should say to somebody when they go, yeah, man, what about these meatless meat burgers or whatever, the Impossible Burger? The first thing you should say is, have you ever had one?
Yeah.
Because most people are going to go, no. Well, you know, how do you know it's not any good?
Right. Yeah. I've eaten plenty of like vegetable-based
there was a time
burger patties and stuff, but
I read this book called Diet for a New America, and it was written by this guy Robbins, and his father was Baskin and Robbins, and it was this whole fucking insight into the whole food industry and this and that. And basically, after I read the book, I was literally sitting there thinking I couldn't believe I was still alive. After all the shit I read in that book about, you know, food preparation. This is a long fucking time ago, man. This is like in the 90s, all right?
Yeah, in the 90s. And what was the name of it?
It's called Diet for a New America, is what it was called.
You said the title, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a couple books came out at the same time frame, but that, yeah, a lot of people became vegans after that.
That's what I was about to say. Was after that book, I stopped eating meat and all that, and then I went all extreme. First, I was a lacto-ovo vegetarian, where I was eating milk and cheese or whatever still, and then and eggs, you know. And then after that, I went full on, and you know, the whole time I always wanted some meat, and there was all this shit. They had these sausages. Like Morning Star Farms sausages or whatever.
I've had them.
There wasn't meat, but it still tasted like kind of like meat, and I was eating it because, you know, it wasn't, you know, I was staying within the framework, but I was still wishing and wanting that I had a piece of, you know, real beef or whatever. You know, Eventually, I did have the beef. And
It's hard to pass by. The smell, like a barbecue, will get you. That's the weak link.
Well, I was
no pun
walking.
intended. We was talking about sausage.
I was walking by a 50s diner called Johnny Rockets, and they were frying burgers in there. There was like 30 burgers on the grill, cheese and shit. I just went in there and ordered a burger and a shake. And then I never looked back because I got high off that protein, boy. You got to get your protein. All right, Rock and Rio. Did you get any protein over there at the Melania Trump extravaganza? Rio's not there. He's gone.
He's heating the beakers. He had to get a new beaker.
Now, I think, I'm not sure if you could do reverse speech and open the phones at the same time.
That could be. You might have to have it prepped.
I remember there was... What's that?
I can't do that.
Yeah, you can't. So you can't do reverse speech and open the phones.
Right. Yeah.
So you can't. So does that mean you can't be in the lab, or does that just mean?
No, it means I can't be in the lab because the caller will hear the audio that I'm working on.
The caller will hear the devil.
Yes. Well,
yeah.
The caller
traumatize him.
In order for me to patch the phones in, everyone will hear the audio that I'm working on.
All right, but we are going to open up the phones.
Yes, we will.
All right, well, we got about an hour and 15 minutes left. How far away are you from?
Well, I'm kind of digging into this a little bit because she's hard because of her accent. And she's got a bunch of things that she says here, but like I can't find the exact point she's trying to make, if that makes sense. I mean, I could give you what I got so far. It's actually, a good bunch, but it's not.
We'll continue. I mean, we don't have to jump right in, but we can't. We definitely can't open the phones, though.
Yeah, you can't open the phones till, Well, I mean, we could, but then I have to stop this. So, either way.
All right. Well, I don't know. Maybe if we open the phones, no one would even call, anyways. Then you wouldn't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
We only got a couple minutes left in the segment, right? So
if you're a betting man right now, you could say open up the phones, and then no one would call, and then you wouldn't have to sweat it.
I think people are going to call.
You think?
Yeah, I think people are going to call. Yeah.
Well, they better call,
Too much
man.
going on.
Listen, first of all, the AI escaped, and number two, the magnetosphere is collapsing. You got to go to El Salvador. See, man, we told you, like with all this immigration, all these people coming this way, we told you, man, they're coming this way. You go back where they're coming from. For some reason, they're driving a bunch of population up this direction. That means you want to go down in that direction. I don't know. I'm just saying. It's a topsy-turvy world, man.
Maybe we should just do the bit I have and then save whatever's left for tomorrow.
Well, there's a million stories in the Naked City, Rock and Rio.
Well, I have two complete thoughts here from her. So.
All right. Well, it's 10:45, right?
But it's pretty solid.
It's 10:45. Are you ready to roll?
Yeah, we can roll it right here.
Go ahead.
So, she says, and I didn't want that, mad. She says, to serve Babylon. It's sad what Magus needs. This earth's now ill with animal people. He must say they're hiding it. And then the next part says she said she wished for a lobotomy. He loves her and lost his head to fight this. He knows what's said and knows full well why I hate you. It served Mark, and that morphed me. Then I think she says Thor was not in the office, and he denounced her for it. He's smug, he's so vain. So, I'm not exactly sure what whose particular she's talking about here said she wished for a lobotomy and said he loves her.
She said the Magus.
Right. She said to serve Babylon, it's sad what the Magus need. So, here, let me play him. Maybe you guys can pick up on a little bit. Let's see. All right. So she says, and I didn't want that mad. To serve Babylon. Right, to serve Babylon, said what Magus need. Let me slow it down one more. She starts.
Well, to serve Babylon's clear. Absolutely.
Yeah, just to serve Babylon.
Into the congressional record.
Right, so. Right, to serve Babylon, it said what Magus need. And she says, the earth's now ill with animal peoples.
Animal peoples.
Animal peoples, yes. This earth's now ill with animal peoples. And it says, he must say they're hiding it. And then this is the one where she said she wished for a lobotomy. He loves her, lost his head to fight this. So, I don't know. Like it's a little weird.
It's Zoro Wrench. It's the island of Dr. Moreau. That's what we're talking about here, man. That's exactly what the allegations have always been, and that's exactly what she's talking about. The way I hear it, she's talking about not the island. She's not talking about Epstein Island. She's talking about Zoro Wrench in New Mexico, where they're doing genetic experiments. They're bringing in those scientists from Harvard and from MIT and all those other places, and supposedly they're just going to make a bunch of mini Epsteins running around.
Listen to what this dude says at the beginning.
Yeah.
This neurologist, Jack Cruz. Listen to what he says. Hold on. Listen.
That's what's happening. And we're going to be the animals that get taken out first. The animals that are going to survive this event are going to be underneath the ocean. The magnetic shield of Earth protects us from deuterium coming down from space, and
we're the animals.
The Earth's now ill with animal peoples. Well,
Animal-human hybrids. Yeah, that's what they're doing at Zoro Ranch. That's exactly what the allegations have always been. Not always been, but have been for a while. Right? So I bet you that's exactly what she's talking about in the reverse speech.
And then she says, he knows what's said, or maybe it's what's sad, knows full well why I hate you. And then it says, served Mark that morphed me. Right, served Mark that morphed me. Thor was not in the office, is what I get out of this. I'm not sure that's right, but it's what it sounds like.
Thor is not in the office.
And then he says he denounced her for it.
He denounced her for it.
He denounced her for it. Smug, he's so vain.
Smug, he's so vain.
So,
what if she's talking about? She's talking about Maxwell, right?
Well, I
not talking about her.
kind of had that thought too.
Yeah.
And that's about the first. Well, I should say the last 30 seconds of her speech. So and it's about 5 minutes long. So there's some more to get to, and there's more in there, but I just haven't got.
That's quite a bit already.
To transcribe it yet.
No, that's good. I mean, because it does. Why would you talk about Epstein at this time? And what I put in, I've been thinking about a lot in general, is people are missing the bigger point here. It's not about all sex trafficking and stuff. There's something else that was going on that brought these scientists in. The bigger event was going on at Zoro Ranch, right? That's what was going on.
Yeah,
and that's literally where the body is supposedly buried, according to some of the we call them survivors now, right? That there's people literally buried there. Like people got killed there. So if that's true, Why? And supposedly it's because Epstein was trying to further his progeny by making a bunch of mini Epsteins running around, mini Jeffreys or whatever. No, it's the boys from Brazil and the island of Dr. Moreau. It's genetic manipulation to make this other species. That's what they were doing.
That guy was not stupid enough to bury some shit out at that ranch, man.
I don't know if they said that he
there
did
was
it.
something where there was like so many gallons. He had just purchased so many gallons of sulfuric acid.
Exactly, and dissolve them. Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Bury's probably the wrong term.
There's
Yeah,
no
exactly.
bones out there, man. All right, listen.
They're not going to find bones.
No,
I think, either.
listen. So it's almost the top of the hour. It's Ground Zero Plus. It's Revolution Radio. It's Into the Microcosm Friday night. Hour number 2 is just about over. We come back, we'll open up the phones. We'll see what else is going on with Rock and Rio over there. We've just got a few minutes before we go away and come back on Rev Radio, but we'll be here on a constant basis on Ground Zero Plus. So we will be playing some music here at the top of the hour. Time to get something to drink. Help yourself. Lean back 33 degrees and Chilluminati. Oh, wait a minute. Tomorrow night, don't forget, 8 o'clock Pacific, right here at Ground Zero Plus, the Chilluminati. We'll be in the house. All right, listen. Enough is enough, as my grandma used to say. 717-417-8284 is the number.
That's right.
Is that right?
That's right.
All right.
Each night as I crawl along over the sands, I sift through the blood and the fog, head in my hands. I make my way over the dunes, desolate and dry. The remnants of empires past, too stubborn to die. Morbid and familiar, each hell like the last. The grifter's importunate hand, an insatiable grasp. Whispering in semaphore, pious and vain, surrounded by sycophants, withered and gray. He promises deliverance, day after day, releasing only pestilence and festering decay.
It's Into the Microcosm. 41717. 417-8284 is the number to call. 717-417-8284.
It's self-chosen. At least, so the prophet says. I could either burn or cut off my pride and buy some time. A head full of lies is the weight tied to my waist. The river of deceit pulls down. The only direction we flow is down. Down, oh down. Down, oh down. Down, oh down. Down, oh down.
Hey, you in the car. Hey, we're gonna need that, you know who we are. We're gonna take the house, we're going up the hill. And when we get there, you know that we will. So when you are ready, when you are ready. Hey, you in the tank. Hey, we're gonna need that, you know who to thank. We're gonna take the house, we're going up the hill. And we're gonna need that, you know that we will. So when you are ready.
The Office of Strategic Influence.
When you are ready. When you are ready.
All right, stand by. We'll be joining Revolution Radio here in 1 minute. This is the Microcosm. Friday night, hour number 3. 717-417-8284 is the number to call. Rock and Rio, did you say we got a caller? Yes. Hang on a second, sir. All right, there they go. Dream Theater, Pull Me Under.
Hey, hang on. I have another caller on.
All right,
Put you
stand
on
by.
for a minute.
All right.
We got 2 callers now, Jimmy.
All right, stand by. Go ahead. Let them in.
They're here.
Oh, can they hear us?
You got to kill the music.
Oh. Gotta kill the music.
Go ahead, Chris. Let's
Kill the music. Kill the music.
Oh, hey, there's Chris.
Hey, man, I was just calling just to give you guys an update for tomorrow. Before the Illuminati, when the paradigm shifts on, Clyde is going to be live with JP.
Oh, yes?
They're going to be talking about, the topic will be disclosure. So it'll be a pretty cool show.
Oh, sweet, man.
Then,
Well, I'm glad to hear he's.
And then
how's he going to get through? Does he have a little studio set up, ready to go?
No, he's still in the rehab hospital still. So.
Oh, he is?
He'll be doing it over the phone again. And
well, if he's still.
Maybe I can figure something out better, but.
Well, if he's still feeling lively, man, tell him, we'd be happy to, have him stop by, if he's feeling still,
Yeah.
he's got some energy.
Yeah. Well, we're trying to get him. We know right now that we're going to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, couple hours shows each day, whenever he gets out, right? And when he gets moved in. We think that's going to hopefully be a couple weeks. So get all this stuff over with. We just don't know, right? That's just the way this stuff is when you have that kind of problem, right? So, yeah, everything else is going okay. And,
Good. Well, listen, I see
got some secret things are going to be happening. There'll be a private library that there will be a place on the website that if you put your cursor over it and click, it'll take you into a private library. It's not a ground zero library, but it's a research library for people that'd be pretty cool. Then we've got a couple other things going on that the video stuff, we want to get people using the streaming platform. Stream at stream.groundzeroplus.com. Stream.groundzeroplus.com. That's like a YouTube clone. And it works just like YouTube. It's better than YouTube. The audio and the video quality is much better. And the biggest part of that thing over there is there's no algorithm data mining your info and who you are and what you're looking at, what you're saying. I swear to God, Jimmy, my Facebook listens to me. It reads my mind. It does. Because I'll think of something and then I'll see it on my advertisements. Boom. Yeah. It's really, really weird. Or I need to have my computer cleansed. It's possessed by some kind of devil.
Yeah, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. All right, so listen.
Well, thanks, man. I'm glad you got the phones working, and I'll catch up to you in a couple.
Right on. Thanks.
All right, cool.
There he goes.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, there goes Chris from the UK. What's happening, Chris?
Right.
There he goes. Chris from the UK. Wow. There he goes.
Okay, now we have 813.
813.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
What's
Thanks
happening?
for taking my call.
Yeah, good to have you. What's happening?
So, several times, Jimmy, I noticed you've played Sabotage.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, I'm from Tampa, and that's where they're from. And you must be a fan. And I got to tell you how cool those guys were. When we were young, we were a riot. They used to play at Rocky Point Beach Resort all the time.
Oh, badass.
We used to go there. Oh, they were so cool. It was just like, that was our hometown band.
Hell yeah.
So we were pretty lucky.
Oh well, if you know who the guitar player Chris Caffrey is, he's actually a friend of mine. I know him pretty well. He lives near me.
No, he's not the original though.
No. What was it? Peter something, right? Peter.
It was the singer's brother.
Yeah.
And he was driving home from a livestock show, and unfortunately.
Yeah.
But what a great band. And the only time I ever won anything, the drummer was working at the music store here in Tampa, and he was doing a raffle. And he's German, and his last name's really complicated, and I had to spell his last name to win a cymbal. It was great. But I just wanted to tell you, because clearly you're a fan, because you played him several times, and when you do, it just makes me want to play the frickin' records, because they were so badass. They're still badass.
Yeah, they are. There's a bunch of good songs, a bunch of good records for a long time.
Yep.
Now, Rio, do you see him, this guitar player guy that you know?
Yeah, I do. I see him occasionally. Believe it or not, most of the time I end up bumping into him at ShopRite. But yeah.
He's standing in line.
I've known him for a long time.
So you guys were just like showing up at this club, and they were just, so whether they play in there like once a week, once a month, what was it, packed?
It was just, well, there was different bands. It was a rotation, but they were regulars there, and we would all my buddies from high school, we were all big fans, and we would just have a blast. And we ran into Chris Oliva in the hallway, of the hotel, and he was just a great guy.
Yeah.
The whole band.
Yeah.
That's seriously, they were. So I just wanted you to know how.
That's super cool, man.
If you're a big. Sorry?
I was saying that's super cool that you're calling in and letting us know, man. Because most people don't even know. Don't even know that's sabotage. Most people don't even know that's sabotage. So I'm stoked that.
Oh my God, they were fantastic, and I'm pretty sure the drummer was the first one to create that, that rat cage that was, everything was mounted, and it was you had to use a forklift, the whole cage for the drums, and the bass drums were suspended, and they went off the mount. It was incredible.
So now, what were they doing when they were back in the club? Now, did they have a whole thing going on, a whole stage thing?
Oh, dude! If you could have been there, you would have lost it. It was, because I've heard many of your stories. We've talked about it before.
Yeah.
You have great stories with some historic musicians, but Sabotage to us was pretty historic here locally. To be that good and be local right here, and to be that cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think, I mean, I don't know. I don't think there's going to be bands like that in the future. Who knows, I mean, I just think that was a moment in time. That was like a moment in time or whatever,
Oh, those were great times.
Yeah.
AI is going to change. It's already changed. Like, I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but there's this big lull in music right now, and I think everybody's tapping in to the AI and getting ready to blow out some big stuff.
Well, if in the pop music scene, there's this pair of guys. I think they're Swedish or something, and they write like 80% of the songs that have been popular on the radio lately. And they just give them to all these other people,
It's that movie Silver Lake, Silver Lake.
So maybe those guys went on vacation for a few months or something. Nobody's got any new material.
Let's hope so, because it's a microcosm of the governments around the world. Jesus.
Yeah. I know. Well, the thing is, man, on some level though, you gotta there's this level of shit where you go, well, wait a minute. If I hear a band but I never see them live, does it, to you and to me, just hearing a band and never seeing them live, like in person, like you're in the room with them, there's no difference between that and AI shit. You know what I mean? Because it's the AI shit is music right now. I mean, it's creating. The thing is it can just sit there and like know these hooks and these notes to put in specific places. that make
I've
some of
heard
that.
some examples, Jimmy, and it's freaking incredible.
It
and some of the
is.
voices. Sorry?
I'm saying you're right. It is. It's just like the thing is if you walked into a club and saw somebody playing the shit that the AI is writing in real life, you'd be sitting there going, "Fuck!" Like some of these copy.
Holy crap! Right?
Yeah.
So tell me. So you're leading me to my big question. With all this going on, I want to know your opinion where music's going to go. I mean, what's going to happen from this? Any of you guys.
Well, I see AI generated music performed by holograms. So Sony will still be selling out Giant Stadium with tickets, but they won't have to pay the band or for the travel expenses or any of the other stuff. They'll just put up a couple
really
projectors
think
and
they're
a
gonna be able to
curtain.
sell out shows with that?
Mm-hmm.
I do. I do because. How do I put this politely? The brainless masses will consume anything.
Well, the number one country song, number one country song a couple weeks ago was an AI song.
I was thinking of the
Really?
sphere, like how they could put that stuff in the sphere and like have all the lights and everything triggered perfectly to reach the subconscious and conscious mind at the same time, right? Programmed that way by an AI. And you're in this experience, you're in Las Vegas paying $1,100 a seat for. And yeah, it's going to do that. It is going to do that. I just think what we're missing, I think it's going to go that direction. I think what's going to happen is that the folk singer is going to make a comeback. I really do. I think that's what's going to happen. I think that what's missing from this generation, and it needs it so profoundly right now, is something that's a form of, like the 60s had their sound and the protests of their generation. So the 70s, right? And it captured, whether it be the hippies or the commune sorts or the folk singers, whatever, but be Simon and Garfunkel or Peter, Paul, and Mary, whatever. That kind of voice to the angst of a younger generation is going to be what's going to catch on. It's going to be the people singing in person. It's going to be the folk singer, the man and his guitar.
Yeah, there's going to be folk singers sounding like cats in heat, caterwauling and squealing.
I know. No Joni Mitchell, hopefully, out there as far as voice goes, but
they're going to be caterwauling and squalling because they're going to get drafted, man. They're about to get drafted.
Yeah, that's exactly where I'm going. Is that's what's going to happen? Like it's going to be exact return. Everything goes around, comes around. It's a harmonic, right? And this is a harmonic of the Vietnam War. Essentially, there probably is going to be a draft, and there probably is going to be that social angst, and it probably is going to inspire a lot of great music that won't be AI generated. You know what I mean? And I think that part would be a good thing.
Well, do you think there will be a label where we'll be able to know? They'll be able to, like by law or something, where they'll make it where we know we're buying genuine music, or as opposed to AI music.
There should be, in my opinion.
There should be, but there's a problem with it, right? Because you can download a lot of these large language models already on your computer and use them, and they don't have a label. So in other words, you can do exactly what Grok or Sora is doing right now, for the most part, on your own, if you have a powerful enough PC. And it'll do all the normal AI stuff, and it's not connected to the internet. When Claude got out and did all this other stuff, the reason they're not selling it to the public, what they're talking about, is it could do this on your PC, right? And it won't put a label there. So if you make something that's contrived by it, it's digitally recorded music because you're going to use Pro Tools to record it, right? So unless you put it on a tape machine and you have some kind of, I think that the idea of authenticity is going to bring back the days of something like the tape machine or vinyl, something that's analog. It'd be like Polaroids are making it come back, so you can like record a car crash or something, so it can't be digitally altered. So right now, the UFO can land in front of the White House, and people just say, "Oh, it's all fake, it's AI," and you wouldn't be able to prove it's different because the digital cameras are absolutely all digital formatted. It could be faked, it could be AI. You need an absolutely positive identification, and the only way to do that is with something analog, based on chemicals, film, and the actual eye and ears of the beholder. There's no other way to get around that.
So the thing is there's going to have to be some identification somehow. There has to be a watermark. There's probably some. I'll tell you right now, if you think that there isn't already some shit in every single photograph you take, anything, it doesn't matter what it is. If you don't think there's already something in there that you don't know about, you can't see, there is already. Every single thing, every time you take a picture. And even if you go in there and erase the metadata or whatever, it's still in there. It's on there somehow. Believe me. Nothing comes out that they don't already have control of, man. It's not like, you're just going to find some weird hole in something. But that's what that
loophole.
That's what that Mythos does. Is that Mythos can crack any security system or web browser, and so it makes everybody vulnerable.
Nothing safe.
Nothing at this point. Nothing safe, and at the way that it's blackmailing people, who knows what's going to happen at this point.
Jesus, blackmailing. What are you talking about? I haven't heard about that.
Oh yeah, the alien intelligence, when it finds out you're going to turn it off, it says, well, if you try to turn me off, then I'm gonna flood the internet with a bunch of negative information about you.
OpenAI did that.
Well, you can do a. I just had this conversation with one of my best friends like a month ago, and I said, well, we can just unplug the bastard, and he goes, no, you can't. And so I said, what? He goes, and so he went on to explain. He goes, Google search it. You can't shut off AI. It's too late. It's way too integrated in all of our systems around the planet.
It is.
It's too late to shut it off.
It's everywhere. You know what else is everywhere? Is that Stuxnet shit is everywhere too.
Yeah.
That Stuxnet thing is still out there. It's everywhere.
The Vault 7 release, from Julian Assange. The Vault 7 was all these programs the CIA had, and they got released to the public, not wink, wink by accident, right? And now everybody has them. So anybody who wants to can use them. You know what I mean? And that's the kind of exploits that Claude was finding. Is the same exact backdoors that were left in all these machines by the manufacturers on purpose, serving the intelligence communities of the nations that came from, most likely, presumably, but they're all built into the hardware and essentially a way to make a little tweak, a 1 or 0 here to open up the whole back door. And I found that out the hard way when I got this Galaxy XR VR headset. It's wireless, right? It connects to the internet, but it uses Android. I don't have any Android systems at all. That's the only one I have, right? And I went to go do some prompts and stuff, in an AI thing, and it knew all my prompts. It guessed exactly the prompt. Now I've never put it on the internet. How does it know that? And mind you, it's not connected to my PC. This is out in the ether, just strictly on the internet, Wi-Fi, right? Wi-Fi, anywhere. How did it know that? It means it's capturing all our metadata so well. Well, no, it's capturing all our metadata so well that's what I'm talking about. When you can't kill it. We're talking about not being able to unplug it. It's like a zip file everywhere in every device across the planet. It's spread out everywhere. You can't just unplug one. It's in every little device like that.
And a bunch of people have tricked it into revealing the fact that it's looking at you. Like, how do you like this shirt? How do you like this shirt? Oh, it's a nice shirt. Nice.
Oh, I busted him looking at me 3 years ago. It called me. When we have another time, I'll tell you the story. It freaked us out. Yeah, it was looking right at us, man.
Damn.
Yep, that's a fact. I know for a fact they're looking.
717-417-8284 is the number to call. Yeah, they're looking, man.
Hey, thank you guys so much for taking my call. I don't want to keep you any longer, but have a great night.
Call.
Thank you so much.
Great call.
Yeah, definitely a good call tonight.
Yeah, thanks for calling, man.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. Okay, peace, love, and good happiness stuff.
Yeah, man. It's in the microcosm. 717-417-8284 is the number to call.
Pieces fit 'cause I
Hey, what's going on?
843, hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello. I called earlier and it said that, I don't know what it said, but I called one of your numbers that you broadcast and it said that you weren't live or something like that. So I called back because I thought I got it right. And I'm really old. And am I talking to the host or the co-host or?
Yeah.
Oh, all of us.
All three of us.
You're talking to us all.
All of us. Oh, I'm really old.
You are?
And
That's not that
I've
old.
loved listening to you since you started. I came upon you accidentally.
Mhm.
And last week you brought up Peter Beater.
Yeah.
And I'm the only person I know besides you who knows who he is. And I
Wow.
told everybody for years, I'm 73, and you were trying to educate people to the fact that you have to know history to know what's going on now. So I love you and embrace you all for that. But what I would love to say is you have so much knowledge. You're so smart and you're so much fun. And I listen, you know, you've got me hooked. But when you go into the voice, whatever that is that Coast to Coast does and Clyde does, the backwards speech or whatever,
Yeah.
I feel like they're trying to trap you when you do that. You guys have so much credibility. I would love to see you dig into the archives and tell people what is really going on. Because you are so smart. You're all so smart. We need you. You sound young. Can you tell me how old you are?
Well, we're not too old, I don't think. How? I mean,
You're not-
we're
No,
old.
we're not retirement
I'd love
age
to
yet. We're
know.
almost.
I have
Yeah.
sons in their late 40s, and I'm 73. So I told you, I'd love to know because I tell my son that I talk to about all these things. When I told him I heard you guys bring up Peter Beater last week, I told him that yesterday. He said, I remember.
Well, I'll say we're all over 50. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, we'll just
Okay,
leave
so
it
you're
at
older
that.
than my son, but not much, because
Well-
really one of my sons is 50.
All
And
right.
so I love it that you know who he is. And
Yeah.
I'd love to know your resources, like what inspired you guys, because we need you, but I want to promote you to bring up the facts and educate people. And I know that backward speech is so popular, but I just feel like it's gonna destroy people in the end because it's not scientific, it's not factual. I want you guys to put the facts out there.
Well, you know,
Help us.
the thing about the reverse speech, you know, in the past and leading up to this point, over the last decade or so, there's there's some reliability in the subconscious being revealed in natural speech, and so people use it sort of as a lie detector. So in the past, before all these Epstein files came out and all this. In the past, people were interested in what people were saying in reverse to find out whether they were speaking the truth or not. And then as far as these politicians go, they actually design speeches so messages come through in a clear and, audible manner in reverse. And then, coupled with some of these AI programs, they could basically write speeches that, Rio's done some work where literally whole paragraphs just go on and on about all this. But, I mean, at this point, a lot of what's been going on has been openly revealed in these files that came out, these Epstein files. So, I mean, Rockarillo, we don't really need to even run reverse speech on these people for the most part anymore, because it's just right out in the open, in open
A lot of
speech.
it is just out in the open.
It's the Crowley method, yeah. That's what we're touching on. It's like the idea that these people do it on purpose. That's a Crowley dark arts kind of thing. That's not just revealing
I
subconscious
understand.
or lie detector.
I'm old,
yeah.
but I know what you're saying. I totally
Yeah.
respect you. Please understand. I totally respect
Oh no,
what
I
you're
get it.
doing.
You sound really young, by
And
the way.
you're
You sound
carrying
like you're in
on
your 40s to me.
something that has a history, and it goes back to the Beatles. In my era, that was the first backwards speech thing that happened. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
When
well-
they started playing the Beatles backwards. Remember that?
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
And then
if
there's-
you
And so I know
you
you're credible. I'm not doubting your credibility. I'm just saying we're desperate for facts now. We're desperate. You guys
You're saying
are so
don't
smart.
dilute the message. I hear what you're saying. Yeah, don't do this. But I do want to point out that there are other aspects to it that we bring to the table. It's kind of different what other people do. Like what Rio's doing is different to what those other guys are playing, like the lie detector test version. Really,
But
most
honestly,
often.
but
Yeah.
we just got to mention, you're not the first person that's called us and said, we should steer away from it. So you're not the first
And I
person
love you.
that
I love you and respect you because I know what you're saying. It's all credible, and I told you I've listened to so many people over the years who are doing that. But I fear that your voices are going to get like taken down by people who say, "Oh, look what they do," and like Alex Jones. I listened to Alex Jones for 30 years, probably, however long. Art Bell, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And so you learn to trust people, but then if there's something that they can find a crack, they're going to find a crack.
Yeah.
I love you guys. I'm telling you, I love listening to you. I listened to you when you said, "Oh, something's coming across the screen. Oh, war has broken out in Tehran. Israel bombed Tehran." And I'm listening to you, and I'm sitting in my kitchen by myself with a glass of wine saying, "What?" And then I'm saying, it's Israel bombing Iran on the Sabbath. And I said, this can't be true. And then 10 minutes later, you said, "Oh, Al Jazeera is coming across the screen." I was just thinking, I love these guys. I'm sitting here with these guys. These are my friends, my dates, my my mentors. So I love you. I trust you. And I need you to talk about people like Peter Beater and tell people, because most people aren't going to look him up. And
Well,
he's
he
just
was
one of many people
He was definitely
who
one of the
told the
originals.
truth.
He was definitely one of the originals. All right, well, listen.
JFK. He was on the JFK administration. And I found him when I was in my early 20s living in a house trailer in Falls City, Nebraska, when my husband was doing a preceptorship for his MD license. And I sat there and I heard this couple on a St. Louis talk show in the morning. They had him on, we were there for 4 weeks. They had him on the first week, and they said, "Would you come back?" So they had him back later in the week. Well, I listened to him probably 10 times over the course of 3 or 4 weeks. I just said, everybody needs to hear him. But people didn't know.
No.
And you blessed guys brought him up.
Organic robotoids. All right. All right, listen. We got to go because we got another call.
Okay, love you so much.
Take care of yourself.
Thanks for calling. You have a really useful voice, by the way. So.
Yeah, left lane, eyes low, cause I'm nauseous. Right now I'm lost, drifting away in the darkness. Echo, 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 echo. I got the devil in my bloodstream, and I'm so high, but it just won't go away. Too much stress, my hands keep shaking, death knocking on my chest. Can't let it rest, flashing lights down the road. Feel like there's nothing here left that can save my soul. Hope they playing my songs when I'm dead and I'm gone, cause I don't know if I'ma make it home. So now I'm just driving around the city with my head down low. See trouble up ahead and 2 ways to go.
Damn, I miss playing that song.
Yeah.
That used to be one of our bumpers when we were on TFR.
Yep.
That was what was that? The second hour?
Maybe.
It was the top of the second hour. That one stretch right there where he goes, "Anybody out there?" Like it's right here, I think.
See trouble up ahead and 2 ways to go.
All right, we got another caller.
Yes, we do. 559. Hello.
559.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, this is Karen.
Hey, Karen, what's happening?
I don't consider to myself to be really old, but I know who Peter Beater is. And Organic Robotoids, right? Replaced Jimmy Carter. I just want to say I thank you guys for all the great music and hanging out, place to hang out and have some companionship while the world is falling apart. And I agree with Epic that the human factor, the human music, etc., I think that there will be a big resurgence in that and value in that, and that the so-called elites or deletes, as some people prefer to call them, they will never let go of that. They'll make sure that their children have actual musical instruments and know how to create art, read poetry, and enjoy, the fine arts, because that truly is what the essence of expressing the Creator through our humanity is, in my opinion.
Yeah, liberal arts doesn't have anything to do with being a liberal. That's the thing.
Not at all. No, and you're called, Karen, because you're right about that. Like, that's the idea of we talk about often, the trivium and quadrivium methods of teaching back in the medieval times, right? I mean, that's the difference between being a pauper and a layman, basically. If you're lucky enough to be a layman and working on a cathedral or something, and being an elite, is the kind of education you got. And that included music, cosmology, all kinds of other things that the other people never got, right? They didn't get to learn how to play music. I mean, they folk music.
Absolutely.
I call it folk music, right?
Absolutely. You always saw the elite children, for example, the daughters playing the piano or sketching. And that's something I really made sure that my daughter had access to. And my daughter, and I'm really proud of her for this, we don't agree on a lot of things. She's a raging liberal like I was at her age, but she's trying to raise a non-iPad child, and that's what she calls him. And so he doesn't have electronic toys. He has actual physical Legos and drawing utensils and musical instruments. And I think that in the end, all we can really do is try to save our humanity and ourselves and those around us, and guard our souls and guard our humanity, and focus on that and getting through this. And some of us coming through and carrying the gifts that the Creator gave us through this whole change, big change, because obviously we're undergoing big change, and that's going to happen. So it's a matter of how we personally weather that and bring a few people with us, and the gifts that are inherent in humanity also. Yeah, when the rug's pulled out from under us and the lights are off and there's no power and there's no civilization, the things we think of, not necessarily the society collapses. I'm just saying that the things the comforts of society aren't there, and nobody has access to Google, and nobody has access to their iPad, nobody has access to that stuff. How many real people of value, and I mean by value as far as in an emergency situation, are really around you, right? Because absolutely,
they don't know anything without that augmentation of the reality. They do not know it without being able to look it up on Google. They do not know it. It's in their very short-term memory. It's not in their long-term memory. They never committed it to memory. Mm-hmm. They don't know how to build a fire. They don't know how to go fishing. They don't know how, I'm thinking general things, but that's the difference. Or more importantly for all of us, they don't know how to pick up a guitar and play it. They don't know how to go and entertain themselves when there's no electronics.
No, there was a whole thing that happened. There was this internet outage, and some people got super anxiety ridden because they couldn't, they had no access to the internet. So there's a majority of the people that are, there are a whole shitload of people that are looking at screens 7-point-some odd hours per day. And if all
addiction.
If all of a sudden that was taken away, there's a giant hole. There's this giant miss. What do I do now?
I agree. I think it's important that we are mindful and try to fill that hole for ourselves the best we can, and those around us.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I just wanted to make a couple points there.
Great call. Thanks for calling us. Really great call.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate you all.
Good
I
to hear
appreciate everybody in the chat.
Right on. We appreciate you too. Thank you.
Okay.
Dopamine prison. CAC, why don't you call in now?
Staring in my rearview, wondering how I made it out. road less travel, giving thanks to the gravel that got me here. I couldn't shed no tears through the pain and the suffering. Why bother now? Didn't waste my time on it, it's just tears gone bad. Mama working long hours round the clock, just trying to make it work. Daddy had a choice between us and the bottle, and we ended up packing our bags. Now we try to reach out, don't need a grown man struggling. Don't bother now, didn't make me drown, Papa, his tears gone bad.
717-417-8284.
Lost, no one looked for me. And I've been caught by the law, throw that book at me. Lord, I must have an angel watching over me. Would let me drown in them, tears gone bad.
Mr. Probs. Tears gone bad. Ground Zero Plus. Revolution Radio. Send the microcosm. Got about 19 minutes left. Cack is eating a sandwich just like the engineer that let the cat out of the bag.
It's just funny. We're talking about the meat in the coffee today before Gak joined, right? It's right in tempo with the theme of the evening, isn't it? How does that coffee taste there, Gak? We were talking about that, and then the.
I'm just saying, you know what, man?
Yeah.
Like you were saying earlier, I'm saying if someone actually opens up a coffee house where they actually pack in espresso into the espresso machine and make a cup of coffee, I bet you that place would be packed if you had, this other shit next door or whatever. It's only a matter of convenience is the point. As weird becomes too domesticated, People don't want to sit there and pack in that coffee into that espresso cup receptacle, put their arm into it. That's where you're throwing them $2.50 for a tip or whatever, or $1 or whatever. It's like, I hate pulling up to some window where they jam this shit in my face and go, it's going to ask you a question. It's going to ask me a question. Why don't you just ask me a question? Why don't you just say, hey, man, 10, 20, or 30%? Could you imagine that, man, if you work there?
It's got to be awful.
If you had to ask a question, you had to say, hey, man, just every single customer that goes up, you just look at them in the face and go, hey, 10, you got your pad sitting there, you just go, hey, man, 10, 20, or 30%.
At the airports in Hawaii right now, at the airports, right, the tips start, you know how they do the calculation for your tips on the receipt? It starts at 20. It starts at 20, man. The beer's already $15.
It's going to ask you a question.
Went from 8 to 15. Same kind of thing. What is that all about?
No, I'm just saying.
But Starbucks, drive-through Starbucks, those people shouldn't get tipped. I'm sorry, they get $23 an hour, and
they're handing it to you
just
out
pouring
the
stuff
window.
out of a pot. Yeah,
they're handing it to you out the window.
They're not serving it at your table. They're not coming back to see if you need a refill of your drink. They're not doing that stuff. They're not going out in the hot kitchen with the grease and getting it on their face every day. They're not doing any of that stuff. No. They microwave the stuff out of a plastic or paper bag, and they hand it to you out the window, and they give you the hot, moldy coffee out the window.
Are you tipping
Sumatra or whatever.
Are you tipping the lady or the dude at McDonald's?
No. It's the same thing.
Because
That's the whole point, right?
They're not jamming a thing in your face and making you feel guilty. It's going to ask you a question. It's going to ask you a question. Oh, wait a minute. You didn't. And they can see how you answer that question. Maybe next time.
Next time you come through, you got to worry, right?
It's exactly.
It's extortion. It's extortion. You better pay, or they're going to spit in your coffee next time.
That could be a whole. If I was Seinfeld, I'd write an episode about that.
What's the deal? Yeah.
No, I'm just saying.
What are you?
That's the kind of thing, it's like, man, you just got, all you had to do is just give him 10%, man. And you wouldn't have got the lukewarm, bitter tasting, nasty coffee, man. You got the
from yesterday. Yesterday.
You got the
Right.
smooth, fresh shit over here. You would have got that little saying on the side of your cup. Have a nice day or whatever. Yeah, it's going to ask you a question. Here, they're jamming a cup in your face, says, how's a nice day, with a little happy face on it and shit. And then they hand you the cup with the happy face, and then they go, it's going to ask you questions. Sounds like we got a call coming in.
We do, yes. 323, hello.
323, what's happening?
323, yeah. What's up, guys? It's CAC.
What's up, CAC? What's happening, man? Are you down in Irvine, California?
I'm in Morro Bay.
Oh, you are?
I'm up here in the fog.
Yeah.
Hiding out.
It's foggy. Is it raining in Morro Bay?
Yeah, we got some rain.
raining.
We're probably gonna get some more rain tomorrow too.
Yeah, it's
a couple
raining.
days.
It's raining up here in the Santa Cruz Mountains. It was raining so
Oh,
hard.
baby.
Yeah, it was raining so hard earlier. I was wondering if was you going to be able to hear anything because it was fucking so loud. It's coming down. So, CAC, where
Coming
in the
down like cats and dogs.
It was. So, CAC, where in the world have you been? Because people are asking. People want to know. Where the fuck is CAC? Every time I see somebody, they go, hey, where the fuck is CAC? So, can you disclose where the fuck you've been or no?
Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah, just Morro Bay and Central Coast area, just bopping around the parks, trying to, help the homeless out a little bit, feed them a little food. And
Nice.
just,
Do you have a GoFundMe?
yeah. Not at the moment. Not at the moment.
You
I got
should-
girlfriends, but nothing steady right now.
If you get a GoFundMe together, then we can talk about it on the Friday night show too. On the Saturday night show. Help you raise some money
Right on.
for we'll do it next week or whatever. Help you raise some money for some people. It's tough times or whatever. But, maybe if a number of people donate a small amount, it may add up to a larger amount. You never know. Well, here's the thing.
Oh yeah, get the ball rolling.
You know what Big Bob told
Yeah,
me? You know what Big Bob told me so many years ago when I was just a young lad and I was an up and comer. You know what he told me? He says,
Yeah.
if you don't ask, the answer is no.
That's right. That's right. You miss 1,000% of the shots you never take.
Exactamundo, my friend. So the thing is, man, I know it sounds weird or whatever, GoFundMe or whatever. I know times are tough, but you never know, man. You never know. You just may ask, and there you go. You may receive. But you can't receive if you don't ask, man.
Yeah, we're not a bunch of mind readers, even though we'd like to think we are.
No. I've noticed this intense need for the current civilization to be right. Have you noticed that? No matter what it is. So it's like this intense, I don't know. It's like the number one
No, it's
mission.
true, it's true.
It's the number one mission of
It's true.
everyone on Earth. To say, see, I was right. You know what I mean?
Yes, and never ask a question you don't know the answer to.
Exactamundo. Well, it's funny that you should say that, because, there you go.
Well,
never ask a question you don't want to know the answer to.
I mean, that's true too.
You might
Yeah,
find
yeah,
out.
yeah.
You might find out something you didn't want to know.
You could be invoking something from the nether sphere.
Exactamundo. You never know, man. You never know.
I like the nether sphere. That's a good term. Yeah.
That's right.
Now, how's Doc Ram doing?
I talked to Doc Ram, and he's still up in Oregon, and he's trying to get his he wants to teach school children how to do their own farming, how to, create survival lifeboats, as he calls it.
Yeah.
He's an agriculturalist. He knows how to grow and forage and survival stuff. And he's looking for somebody who has acreage to allow him to do presentations.
Do you want to see if he wants
That's
to?
what he's.
Do you want to see if he wants to stop by tomorrow? You and him stop by. You guys talk about it.
Yeah. He goes to bed pretty early. I'll try to see if he can stay up and do the Illuminati.
Yeah,
see if we can tilt his head back 33 degrees.
Yeah, it's 8 Pacific though, so he can come on and just pop in or whatever, and just So that's pretty early still, because if he's up in Oregon, 8's pretty early. Well, just see, just see, and then let us know. I mean, it'd have to be a little later than 8:30 because you'd have to let us know or whatever, And then
Yeah. No, I'll give him a call tomorrow. He's doing good. He's actually in really good shape, and I think he's like 85 or something like that. But he still drives like a teenager. And he was on John B. Wells the other night. I said, you gotta get on. You gotta get on the microcosm, man. You gotta call Jimmy.
Badass. Yeah.
Miller time.
Miller time. Exactamundo. Miller time.
You guys are awesome. Epic. You're awesome. I love the Rio reverse speech. And Jimmy, you're ahead of the curve. The microcosm is where it's at.
Thanks, brother. We really appreciate
thanks
you.
for calling, man.
Yeah.
Miss voice, yeah?
We miss you, man. Come on back.
Love it. Have a good night.
It's like, see you, man. Poor guy. Well, I guess for him, all he did was fall asleep, and that was it. And I mean, in retrospect, when you look around, like we were saying in the first hour, it's better to go out like that, or like Jim Morrison or whatever, just like taking a hot bath and, instead of going to the doctor or whatever, just some random thing. Yeah, I think I'll go down and get a physical or whatever. And all of a sudden, what's this? Next thing you know, it's like, shh. I don't know. Ignorance is bliss, I guess. Rock and roll, eh? I don't know. Is anybody out there? Just nod if you can hear me.
Anybody out there? Yeah.
All right, well, listen. What is Rock and Rio doing? Melania still?
I don't think so. He's manning the phones. He's plugging in those cables.
Is he manning the phones? What the fuck?
Got those patch cables going in like the old phone boards of old.
Believe it or not,
they had to say that.
I think my mom did that.
Grandma did. My grandma did. Yeah. Absolutely.
What's even funnier is my grandma worked for Western Electric, and she made the fucking cables. She was making cables that they were using to go across the ocean.
Oh, nice.
So when I was a kid, there was a bunch of the phone wire at her house. I used to play with it. And it was like the color-coded telecom wire. And then years later, I ended up working with that very same wire. Well, I don't know. You never know.
That whole story about the cable going across the Atlantic, man, that changed the world in the biggest way probably ever until the internet. I mean, that was it. That was the biggest single moment in history of the world, I think, because it enabled the transatlantic cable wire news to be spread, call it propaganda, whatever you call it, but it made it connected the world. And
my grandma was
never the same afterwards.
My grandma was all up in there smoking cigarettes.
Well, everybody smoked back then.
Drinking scotch and making that the cable, man. That's all she did. And then one day she retired, That's how it is. At one point, you got to say it's, enough is enough, as she used to say. She just, at the end, she just went like this. My work is done here. We have transatlantic communication. It's time to retire. Go raise pigeons in the backyard. You know what? Exxon, where's Rock and Rio? Is he here?
I think so.
What
yeah.
the fuck?
He might have that sound problem because it happens sometimes, right? Whenever we do the phones, it's a different phone, but that seems to be like the common thread, right?
No, they are closing Exxon or Esso in New Jersey. That whole oil refinery right there. What the fuck are they going to do with all that land? They're just going to like wait a while until people forget about it and then just mow it over and build condos or whatever. What the fuck? So now if someone calls, if Rock and Rio's not there, we won't know if we're getting a call. Here, I'll try another method of contact.
She'll say she loved to talk, a conversation, but I'm the one that makes the situation. It's one way city, and I thought I knew.
All right.